Is that another box?
Does this ever stop?
It's either me, or the toys, or the toys, or the toys, or the toys.
Welcome to the My Wife is Going to Kill Me podcast.
The podcast where me and my friends talk about the number one thing that makes our wives want to kill us.
Transform and roll out. Transform and roll out. Transform.
That's America's ass.
And roll out. Transform. Roll out.
MWIGTKM, my wife
Is going to kill me.
MWIGTKM, my wife
Is going to kill me.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, wow, you are dumb. All right, man to man, we'll see you on the flip-flop. I tend to lash out to protect my loved ones.
Travis.
At least he's just giving it the old whoppity top.
It just keeps growing.
Man, it's good stuff.
Oh, shoot.
Jeremy.
Don't encourage him.
I hope the cat pisses on you.
You're reading again, aren't you?
I like everything, so just tell me stuff.
Steve.
I'm being misrepresented here. You got no power over me, you harpy.
Did you put a period at the end of this statement?
MWIGTKM, my wife
Is going to kill me.
MWIGTKM, my wife
Is going to kill me.
Let the good times roll.
Last night. We all know it. We there? We're live? All right. For those of you out in YouTube land, welcome to episode 306. Little double start today, getting everybody on board. Well, not everybody.
We're down.
We're down a man. We're down one man.
We're down two men.
We are down two men. We're down a man and a boy.
He's a real boy.
He's a real boy.
We're going down on a man and a boy.
Yeah. So,
But I don't have to fight Jeremy for the jerky. So, nice.
That is one nice part about it.
I never fight Jeremy when he jerks me. Let him go for it. No, I am Lord Steve Bishotti. We are here. The bad boys of toys. Well, I have the two best co-hosts a host could have today. Travis Bowles is here. How you doing, Travi?
I'm so excited about this big tray of food I made. I'm going to be honest.
You're going to talk with your mouth full.
The whole time.
Oh, hold on. It's so fucking rude, man. It's so rude.
I'm trying to be good. I will try.
Next to him and across from me is Pete McCarthy. How you doing today, Pete?
You know, can I be honest with you, Steve? I'm looking at the chats and I'm like, comment number 1, Billy Beige. Morning. Second comment, Maverick. Morning, everyone. Then he immediately says, can't wait for the next Dritz episode. And then Just Shelve It says, good morning, boils. Plague sores, you embossed carbuncle in my corrupted blood. And then Maverick says, praise Papa Nurgle. Though I prefer Vashtor or Malice as my 40K chaps god. Maverick apparently has started using drugs. What the fuck is he talking about? I kind of want to just go take it to PMs, man. You know?
Get a room, guys.
Fucking Nurgle.
Nurgle.
No, I'm doing great.
Good. Jeremy apparently started his trip here.
Kind of.
He made it to the car.
He made it to the. He said he was finished cleaning off the van. Then he said he had more ice to get, which makes me wonder how thorough he is. He must be very thorough.
All of it.
Because I'm one of those guys that literally scratches a hole in my window on the driver's side. Sometimes if I'm doing a little extra, I'll go around the passenger side and scratch a little hole in the passenger side too. While the van is running and the AC is kicking, or no, I'm sorry, the heat.
Fire up that AC, baby.
The defroster.
Defroster.
I usually will go around If it is icy, I'll scratch a hole in the side of the passenger side. But if it is not icy, I will simply get in the van, roll down the window, and all the snow falls.
Inside the
'Cause
car.
I'm lazy. Yep.
Oh, I'm all about the wet crotch versus the work. So
I have a backup cam, so I do not worry about the rear window. I do worry about the mirrors. I take my little scraper and I scrape the mirrors clean. And then it's it. Everything else is blowing off. All right. That's how I roll. And usually by the time I get to the highway, my front windshield is usually pretty clear. That's probably illegal.
it's not probably illegal. It is illegal.
But I'm 45 and I've never gotten in trouble because I used to get teased. I used to get teased even in high school because people would say that they would see me driving, duck down like this because the
Where the
defrosters
defroster
are
is?
melting. Yeah, and I can see through there. So I'd be
Oh.
driving my little Volkswagen Scirocco all crouched over, and they'd be like, "I saw you this morning all crouched over, you lazy bastard."
So I will echo everything that you said because I've always been terrible at that. Always been terrible at that. And when I worked 24s, I would start and end my day at Station 2, which is only 2/10 of a mile from my house. So there were days where I just put my head out the window
Yeah.
and drove
Oh, sure.
and pulled in and then just parked because I'm like,
Yeah,
it's going to sit here for 20. And then what I would do is when I went to Station 1, I'd pull the truck out, pull my Jeep in, and I would just let it sit there and thaw all day. And yeah, that was the way to do it.
So I wish Jeremy was here because I really want to know, like, if you thought it was done and then you found out you had more ice to get, like, because there are these people. Ex-girlfriend's dad used to piss me off because he'd be the guy that would go out and like brush my car off in all the spots I didn't brush it off in, and I thought it was highly condescending.
That's very passive aggressive.
And I'd be like, and he would be so like he'd brush all the snow off that car, and I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Realize there's more coming, you dillhole.
Yeah, there's more coming, and as soon as I get down the road, it's gonna blow away, you loser. What do you got? Nothing in life?
You didn't take that as him just being a nice guy?
No, I was pissed.
I got into a situation yesterday, so I was heading into. I volunteered to plow one of our stations yesterday, give the duty guy a break, and
Duty.
so I'm
The duty guy.
so I'm leaving my house, and I didn't do a good
Hey,
job
duty guy.
scraping my stuff, and so I turn the corner from my house, and there's a vehicle behind me. And I'm a little bit worried that chunks are going to fly off my vehicle and land, and the person behind me is going to be pissed. So do I pull over and remedy the situation? Absolutely not. What I did was I paid attention to the vehicle behind me enough to realize that they only had one headlight. So I was like, okay, nope. And I put my whole plan together. When they called the station to complain that the fire truck was driving with all the snow, I could be like, oh, were you the one behind me illegally driving with only one headlight? Okay, great. And then hang up on them. So I had it all figured out.
I had someone call on me. just
That's the
other day.
problem with driving a marked vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't clear off the top of, I mean, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all know. Like,
Yeah.
we know. Like,
When Mark called, did you tell him I said hi?
yeah.
Probably Kyle.
What was that?
What the hell?
Well, how the hell did that?
I don't know how that happened.
Oh,
It's just a $1,000.
It was probably old man Kyle that called.
It probably was old man Kyle that calls.
Old man Kyle was wound up yesterday.
Okay.
what do you mean was wound up yesterday?
You didn't see him.
Real quick, Curtis Ackerman said some beautiful haircuts, guys. That's pretty amazing. He noticed because we have all gotten haircuts in the last week in between
Pretty
the two
much.
shows.
Yeah.
Not pretty much. We all have gotten haircuts in the last week.
I think mine might have been a little longer than that, actually. I think I had this haircut last week.
No, because Amanda said you just talked to her about the cat in the chair, and the cat hasn't been more than a week.
It's 2024.
I think I got my haircut before your party.
Really?
I think.
How long's the cat been shaved all fucked up?
Probably about a week, but I think we
So it was before the Snapchat.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Regardless,
all right.
Curtis, we are definitely looking
All right.
very dapper with
Yeah.
our fresh cuts. Yeah.
I actually stopped in and Steve happened to be getting his haircut.
Really?
Yeah, we chatted. It was nice. He was normal kind of robot Steve in public. Hello, beep boop. Nice to see you. We're guac.
That
So,
is Steve in public.
It's Steve in public.
Okay, so you're yesterday we had our local toy swap get together, and Kyle was something, but there's Kyle stories to come, but I also want to make sure Pete understands that Steve was also on top of his game.
Was I?
Yes. This was one of those events where a good friend of ours, Alexander Deshaw, chose to bring his child, and
Yeah. I'm not very sensitive to. Yeah. Go ahead.
Good on him.
and his son is 10 and is a avid toy lover, and this is, I imagine, a very fun environment for him to be in.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and
Until the fucking alpha gets going.
do you happen to recall what the conversation about?
Hey, buddy, listen. Don't listen to Steve, okay? Uncle Steve is not a role model.
Well, the thing is I don't see kids. When kids are around, I don't see them.
They're not there.
They're invisible.
But you know what? Point awarded to Alexander Deshaw,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Drunk Gizmo Customs, great dude.
Mhm.
He didn't drop the kid off and then leave
no, very true.
like Justin does.
That's what he
So
did.
that's good.
No,
There was no one else had to babysit the child.
There was no busting situation.
No busting situation at all. So at some point, we start talking about the hiss tank. And as anyone who listens to this podcast knows, Steve gets a little excited when he talks about the hiss tank.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. And I can see him. He says cool like the kids do, KEWL. That's cool.
I wish I, was really good at this whole memory thing, because I would love to just give this a perfect, but I'm going to just try and give you how this went down. Steve said in this large group of people, including the 10-year-old child, that hiss tank reminds me what it felt like to have a new girlfriend.
Fucking it right in the gas hole.
Where you just want to get it all the time.
Banger.
You just want to bang her all the time. That's what that tank makes me feel like. Just want to get in there, bang her.
Okay, so you and Heidi been together 20 years, Trav?
Yeah.
Don't you want to bang her all the time?
Most of the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes she drives me
I
crazy.
want to. I was trying to get a piece before I got here. Like my son is literally getting ready for church, and I'm trying to the Waikiki sneaky between the cheeky before we left. So it doesn't have to be a new anything to want it all the time. I think that's just being an actual alpha, but that's fine. Steve's like, I look forward to that birthday blowjob.
Blowjobs? Nah, never did much for me.
So this kid, he definitely got a he got an education
So
yesterday.
the thing is as soon as I said banger all the time or bang it,
You knew.
the kid became visible to me. Like, oh shit, there's a kid there.
All of a sudden the kid materialized.
So then I proceeded to
Then I
talk
felt
again.
thankful that I didn't do the hip thrust because I was probably going to do the hip thrust as I said it.
Did you then spring into how impressed you were by the packaging and then talk about that's how the nicest pussies are? It's like related back to the hymen,
I didn't go that far.
Okay. I
but
figured you would have.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
little boy now refers to him as Uncle Super Missionary.
Maybe I should have worded it differently. Maybe it just reminds me of a time when I thought sex was love. Because we've all been there.
Back to a time when you thought sex was love.
Yeah.
I still think it is.
I think for men it can be. I think women are they just do it.
Okay, listeners, and feel free to chime in on the live chat here. If I got to pick between the two, I'm picking sex. If there's love, great, but I'd rather have loveless sex than sexless love.
Yeah, but you remember the time pre-sex Pete.
Pre-sex Pete, okay.
And I mean, you're a different, I guess, a little different, not much different than me, but a little different than me is that you're still with the first person you ever plowed, right?
Oh yeah.
So you've only had one.
Yep.
Unlike you pig.
Yeah, whatever you say, boats and hoes. Fucking Travis walking around the high school soccer field with hymen on his necklace like they're Viet Cong ears.
The first time you touched it, you probably thought she must love me. That's what I thought.
No, I was like, I finally duped her. I finally wore her down.
No, it's a different feeling.
Back when I thought sex was love.
It is a different feeling.
Well, now
You
I
are
realize,
so gay.
now, now I realize how women just use it to get what they want. And I'm like, it's not love. It's just a tool.
A very powerful tool.
Sometimes it's love.
Yeah, I do think it's still. I do think it can still count as love, Steven.
Yeah, but you know, there are times at this point in our lives that the passion's different, right?
Mhm.
There are times where you are making love. There are times where, like, we've all had moments where it's like, for whatever reason, things haven't lined up and you've been busy or whatever, and it's the physical drive of we both need this and bam, let's get it done. You know what I mean? For the biological release, right?
Yeah.
But then there are times where it's obviously more romantic and there's more that goes into it, and so I still think I think love is always a component to sex.
Not always. You think
For-
whores love
I'm-
everybody they fuck?
I'm talking about my
Your
sex,
personal-
not-
your personal
Yeah, I'm not talking
experience,
about
yes.
in general.
Oh.
No.
I wasn't talking about general.
But
But-
even if I was a whore and had multiple partners,
Maybe
I
I
still
was.
love having sex. That's got to count, right?
I think that counts for something. So, is it feeling kind of loveless at your home, or
No, I love. My love is unconditional.
1-6 shooter says Steve does it in the Hissenary position. That's good
great.
shit. That's good shit.
Yeah,
Men love unconditionally. Women usually don't. Some men, not all men. And I'm not talking about Courtney specifically here. I'm not. This isn't a reflection of my situation. But we all know if we lose our jobs and become losers, they're gone. Girls can lose their jobs and become losers, and we'll be like, all right, we'll find a way to support you.
In Courtney's defense, you're already a loser. You just have a job. So
I mean, let's stick with you for a little bit and see if you pan the slope and everything. But pretty soon they're going to be like, well,
don't pay on this.
pan the slope. That's
That's not
an old term.
No.
It's an old term from the 1980s.
Weather the storm, maybe, but not pan the slope.
Pan the slope.
Nobody is panning the slope.
Hey,
No, I'm not gonna. We're not. I'm not gonna let you walk away with that one, man.
pan the slope.
Yep.
Pan the slope.
See, they'll give you some time to pan the slope, and if you, but if you ain't coming out of it quickly, and then all of a sudden the bills start piling up, and we got to sell things, and well, there's no more vacations, there's no more of this. They're going to be like, you know what? There's a guy at work that's giving me a lot of attention that you're not giving me.
It's all DIY how to do the slope on a shower pan. That's not a real. That's not a thing.
It's
It's a thing now.
it's before the internet.
The Lord just invented it.
It predates the internet.
Now, Courtney might be old school enough that she would stick with me, but she really wouldn't like me, I don't think.
Unfortunately, Grandma fell and broke her hip last week. We're really hoping she pans the slope after this surgery and gets better. So that's going to be it from now on. I mean, I really wish that Jeremy could have panned the slope this morning and made it to the show.
That's a stupid word.
Last night, if Cody would have only panned the slope, he would have felt better and he could have been here.
So I'm going to agree with you. If I lost my job and could not pay the bills, Heidi would walk out the door. I asked her the other day what would make her happy, and I think the answer was more vacations. So if
The 3-month one in the summer isn't enough.
it's not enough, no. So and by vacations, I mean experiences of going places. So I think you know what, I might have to agree with you. If I lost my job or better, if I could not provide
Right.
for my family.
Right. You lose your job, you can't provide, you get a little time to pan the slope, and then all of a sudden you aren't panning the slope, and then
When the slope is unpanned, there's no going back.
then there's going to be an excuse, and so then they got to demonize you because they can't leave you because you're a good guy. So then they start talking bad to all their friends to get support about how to, he just isn't there for me emotionally, and I don't know, he's just not the man I married.
What's the Bashadi's divorce papers say? Irreconcilable differences? No, inability to pan the slope. That's
Steve couldn't pan the slope. He lost his job, and he can't pan the slope.
can't pan the slope.
He sat in the basement and he painted toys to try to make it work. That didn't work,
Nope.
and now he's
The slope has
I
been
mean,
panned.
why do you think that's it's just the way it is. As much as it's why men and women are different.
Because we'll stand by him.
Yeah, because we don't care. Do you care? Okay. When would you have cared at all what Heidi did for a profession?
As long as she was happy. No, I would not have cared at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're attracted.
There's got to be something out there that you would
Oh,
absolutely
well,
hate doing.
I'm sure there is some kind of horrible job that I'd be like, I
I'm
would
saying
not
when a
want.
woman dates a man, she wants to know, are you going to be a lawyer? You're going to be a doctor? You're going to be a garbage man? What are you going to do? Because you got it. They take that way into.
Hey, Dusty's watching. It's sanitation engineer, man. Show some respect.
We don't give a shit about what they do for a living. If they're hot and they're fun and we fall in love with them, we'll figure it out.
If they're hot and they're fun, and I just fall in love with them.
Well, you do. So if, in other words, if Courtney had decided I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, we would have made it work.
Well,
I would have made it work.
But
I wouldn't.
But that's something you would have planned for because you would have known that going into it.
Exactly.
Right? You would have built your life around her being a stay-at-home mom. So you would have made decisions based on what a single income family would have done.
Right.
To have dual incomes like you guys have had for such a long period of time that you've built that life around, if all of a sudden you lose one of those incomes, that's a very different scenario now.
Still wouldn't leave her though.
No, I know you wouldn't leave her.
I think there is a very simple way to look at this. I think you are, for the most part, right. I think you have to then vice versa look at it from Courtney's point of view. Since you are neither hot or fun, she wants
That's all she's got.
she wants you to have a good job.
I got good hair. I got something left.
You have great hair.
Amanda won't take a picture of it, but
That was a great interaction. So I was going to share this story anyways. So obviously, my wife owns a salon. Everybody knows that. So when her and her sister works for her, when they do different hairstyles stuff, they post them on social media, and it's advertising. And whatnot.
It's always female hair though.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I walk into the salon. I'm chatting with Steve. I'm chatting with my wife. Gets done, and Steve goes, "Hey, did you want to take a picture?" And Amanda is like deer in the headlights right away because she's like, if I tell him no, I'm going to hurt his feelings, but I don't want a picture of his hair. So she's trying to explain to him that
Why?
it's fun colors and it's when we get really creative. And he goes and he stayed on it. So mine's not good enough then. And it was an amazing interaction, right? And so my wife literally was like, "Well, I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture." And she's like, "No, if you don't want it, it's fine." And of course, she knew what he was doing. Knew that he truly didn't care. But it was a very fun little Steven interaction.
Oh, that is good. That's real good.
Curtis Ackerman did not super chat this, but he super chats enough to where I want to say this. He said, "If I quit my job and decided to be a penniless YouTuber, Darla would stay by his side."
well, that's true love, buddy.
Well, but here's the thing. We would not. So if you couldn't super chat, then by all means send Darla to the toy shows and stuff. But
You're out.
stay your ass home on YouTube. We're gonna earn some money for super chat, you bitch.
Oh, shoot. So the swap was a great time.
Able to pan the slope.
There was a lot of slope panning going on there. Believe me. There was a lot of slope panning. There's a lot of pickle gazing. So
I'm pretty sure Alex's son slept with him last night. Daddy, I'm having nightmares. I would too, son. Come lay with me.
So I The auction has happened numerous times. Pete's running the auction. Steve actually took a hand at it this time, along with his partner Justin. And
Which was weird.
and
So just let me. I gotta stop. I'm sorry.
no, please, yes, go ahead.
Time to do the auction. Justin's whining. He doesn't want to do the auction anymore, but he really does.
He did whine. He did not want to do it.
So Trav says, "Will you do the auction to me?" And I'm like, Justin's the one that usually does it, but if he's not going to do it, I'll do it. So Justin says, then he goes back and he goes, "Hey, Steve will do it for you." And Justin's like, "Well, how about I do half, and then I'll pass it off to Steve when I get, tired." Justin does 3/4 of the auction, comes to me and says, "Hey, my voice is getting tired. Why don't you take over?" I go out there and I do one thing. He's like, back. He's like, "All right, good enough. I'm back into the auction."
This is how it went.
I got it from here, Steve.
Hey, can you make sure the camera sees my surprised face? When Justin tells me he wants to do the auction, I smile like Steve.
So just so you're aware of how these work, it's a swap party. Everybody gets a little table. You bring in, you put your wife on the table, and then you put your toys on the table. Then everyone determines, you go around, look at toys, talk about prices, you buy and sell stuff, whatever. A lot of trading. But Kyle never seems to do
I'm
very well.
interrupting you right now.
Thank you.
Yes, Jeremy, I am. And I specifically built this outfit today because I'm like, it's wintertime. I'm going full Jeremy. And then my brother from another mother, dead mother, didn't show up. And I'm a little hurt. And I'm sorry.
Are you talking to DeWitt right now?
Yeah, he
Watching?
posted in the chat.
DeWitt, you can still get here. The roads aren't bad. I drove 60 all the way here.
We miss you.
And we're probably going to go for 2 more hours. So,
You
Plenty
got
of time.
You got time. So,
All right, sorry, go ahead.
no problem. So
We were talking about crooked Justin. Go ahead.
I moved on to creepy Kyle. So Kyle puts his stuff on the table. I don't like to belittle toys. I mean, that's pretty evident from this podcast. I understand that everyone has their own thing.
Wait till you see my thanks UPS guy. You might change your mind.
Can't wait. Kyle, it's table. Let's just say it doesn't get a lot of sniffs. That might be a nice way to put
Kyle's
it.
table, just from what I saw he had at Grand Rapids when he was set up, I was expecting a little more from Kyle.
Kyle acts as if every toy in his booth he designed and produced. He takes it so personal when people don't want to buy his stuff. I don't know why you want to buy that.
Fine. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'll keep it for myself. Like it was his brainchild, and he feels like directly insulted.
Very true.
Very true.
So
Curtis says, "Am I in a loveless marriage with Mwigtkm? I financially support them and only get to sleep with them once a year." Well, twice a year now. The Mwigtkm's coming.
it's about to happen
That
again.
was a super chat. Sorry, go ahead, Trav.
No problem. So none of Kyle's items ever sell. And then at the end of this, we have an auction. Some people then will put stuff on the table to be auctioned off. Me, as someone who has gone now to 11 of these events, I have learned how the auction works. There is not a single item on the auction table that is going to sell for what it's worth.
It's either all high end or it's garbage that people want to get rid of.
It's not even so much that
If it's worth $100, it's going to sell for $50.
that it's just the reality of it. You're in a room full of cheap people,
Cheap flippers.
Or as we call them, cheaple.
and if you put something on that table, now don't get me wrong, we are allowed to set reserves. You don't have to sell your $100 item for $30.
No.
It's totally up to you.
And I will say, in the past, if you drop a custom up there, usually that'll do well.
Yes. No. If there is some artistic ability attached to it, but if it's you went to Ross or Ollie's and you bought something for $8, but you're like, yeah, but it's selling for $20. Guess what it's going to sell for here at this
$8.
auction?
Everybody knows you bought that for $8 with some
There are a few. Yeah.
pieces that are
Yep.
going to really happen, but everybody knows what they're kind of doing.
So Kyle puts all of the trash from his table. I'm sorry, the toys from his table on this
Did
counter.
Kyle go full junkyard?
Oh my god, dude. He didn't go junkyard, but he went
He wasn't very smart. He didn't bring much for one.
No, but did he go? I mean, how did he handle some of the prices that his items were selling?
Oh,
at?
he seemed annoyed. He seemed annoyed, but he was very annoyed all day.
He was pretty annoyed all
He was
day.
pretty excitable.
I forgot about your conversation. He was very excitable. Now, this is an adult get together.
Mostly.
Plus the 10-year-old. It is, I mean, people are drinking, people are having a good time. Kyle was a little ornery.
Was he ornery because the people went by his shit?
That was definitely a huge issue. Yep.
Yep, that was an issue, and I called him out that he's not an engineer. He got very upset with me. Kyle's propensity for calling municipalities and stuff when he sees a situation he doesn't like.
He doesn't agree with.
If he sees two guys standing somewhere with hard hats and he has no idea what they're talking about or what they're doing, he wants to call Lansing and say, "Where's my tax dollars?"
He is a "Where's my tax?"
And I'm not lying. So he had just come off of a conversation about how they won't take his calls anymore about snowplows in the weather, because obviously you're never plowing right, And as a guy who's lived in this kind of industry, I know these people. I know how this works. Why did you take the snow from my neighbor's
driveway
part of the road and dump it in mine? I'm like, well, why did I take the snow from the person before him and dump it in his, and the person before his and dump it in his? It's not just you.
Forth.
Yes, it's that kind of sort of stuff. Why don't you get to me first? Why did you do this? I saw you go down the road, but you just missed my road. Well, maybe that's a fucking major, and maybe you're on a local, dipshit. We'll get to you later. Stuff like that. So Kyle was just bragging about how he complains so much about. Oh, he calls the weatherman too. Apparently, he doesn't like it when the weatherman's wrong. And so, Kyle is the old man. He doesn't like it when the weather.
I'm sorry, elderly people. I know you're trying to fight the stereotypes, but Kyle is not helping
He's
you.
doubling down.
Doubling down.
So then we all, and I got to go back to Justice Curry. We all seen on Facebook, at least this group, because some of us are friends with him. He's had that washout.
Not all of us. I want to make that abundantly clear.
He has that washout. Okay, so let's put this in perspective. Justice has a bridge to his mansion. The bridge washed out, and that's. It's the bridge is bad. Was bad. It was decaying. Everything was falling apart. Justin couldn't get across the moat anymore. So Justin had to have, through a lot of money, because he's posted about how much money it's cost. This thing has to fill and bedrock. They got to build this thing back up, and it's not cheap. Well,
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he's to a point now where it's all been constructed, and everything's been compacted. It's got a temporary drive, but he can't asphalt the drive back to his castle till spring, because they don't make asphalt this time of year, right?
Too cold.
So
Welcome to Michigan.
Kyle, having not been to the site, having not seen what they did to create this new bridge, this new land bridge, not seeing how
Is it more of a culvert than it is a bridge, or is it truly a bridge?
I would say it's more of a like a retention wall.
It's a huge retention wall. It's not really a bridge, but it's crazy.
You could fall off the side of it, but river doesn't flow under it. So in that terms,
Yes,
yeah. So Kyle, having never been to the site, never seen what they did, never seen how they put the bedrock down, or they put the rock and they built this thing up to be supported, has no idea, starts just telling Justin what he better do next year when they come to asphalt that. Because it could fall and it could slope, and they got to make sure this, and they got to make. And he's telling him all this.
You got to pay on the slope.
He's got all this stuff about, he's telling him all this, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? If there's anyone here that would know a little bit about that stuff, it'd probably be me.
I'll give you that.
Because, we dig up roads. We have to make sure, I'm used to compaction and things. Now, I'm not an expert. If it's something like this, honestly, if we were going to do it at where I work, we would have it engineered.
Yes, and congratulations to Stephen for being the most qualified to talk about man work in a room full of people who buy other people's toys and sell them. So,
but I don't give Justin any advice because I have no idea what the fuck they've done.
You've never seen it? You don't know? Yeah.
I've been to his house. I know what it was before they redid it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did to restore it. So I'm just going to say, hey, you hired a contractor. They probably know more about the situation than I do. I'm not going to give him any advice. But Kyle goes on a rampage of giving him advice about what Justin has to tell these contractors to do in the spring when they come. Because he might end up, because Justin, he's here, Kyle, well, you don't want to end up, if that settles, then they got to put, instead of 4 inches of asphalt, you're going to pay for 8, and it's going to be this much money, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how do you know? Do you know the going rate of asphalt? How are you even, where are you? So I called him out on it.
Real quick, Cornboy just says hello from Chilton Memorial Hospital.
Ah,
Best of luck to you, man. We hope that everything is, we know it's been slow going. We hope everything obviously gets to where it needs to be and you get back out soon. So we're all thinking of you, man.
I'm definitely thinking of you, but
and obligatory go back and read Billy Beij's comment too.
I do think it's weird that I do think, Cornboy, I really hope you get better, but I do think it's weird that they sent you to a children's hospital. So,
for those of you that can't see the screen, it's Chilton.
Chilton.
Yeah,
Not Chilton. I thought he was getting a little animal balloon made for him right now. That sucks. That's
he's Corn Boy, not Corn Man. So I guess we could have definitely. So,
what is your name, sir?
Corn Boy.
Children's Hospital.
Yeah. Like Madonna. Actually, if he said his name was Corn Boy, he probably would have gone to the mental hospital. Billy Beige
I hope
earlier
we're making
said,
him laugh, but I hope it doesn't hurt too bad if he's got like stitches or something.
At Curtis Ackerman, yes. If Mwigtkm only sucks for 10 seconds or get on top till their knees hurt, oof.
Ooh.
So, which is funny that he guessed that because I'm pretty sure he's never been in that situation. Oh, poor Billy Beige.
So I called the old man out on his knowledge, and I reminded him that he is a painter.
Just like that.
Yeah.
You're a painter.
That's what he said.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And the old man didn't like that too much.
He did not like being called just the painter.
He repeatedly told me that he's been around a while and he knows things.
All right, so he's a Lannister now. He's a painter for the Lannisters. I paint and I know things.
Just as a man, as being a man and being around for a while, he knows things.
He knows things.
So
Oh.
he didn't let that go for a very long time.
So
I wish he was on the chat today.
this conversation is happening. I do, of course, one of my usual.
You walked away.
I'm
Hey.
like, this is what we're talking about. Like, I seriously.
Trev busted it. He goes, "What's it say up on the wall, Scootsy? ELE. What's that stand for? Everybody love everybody."
So I walk away. For starters, I have no interest in this conversation whatsoever. Kyle is amusing.
So I grabbed Shaw's kid and started telling him about the
Come on.
boatyard.
Come on, buddy. Let's go. We're gonna have some conversations.
Right.
So I walk away. I come back. The conversation is still going.
No, I don't believe you for 1 second.
God wouldn't let it go.
I don't believe you for 1 second. And then luckily Matt Rod showed up with a bunch of plastic pieces in a box and stood in between them and said, "Look at these." Like
And people
Oh,
are getting
I
people
wish
were
that
literally
ran.
getting uncomfortable, and I'm like, really? We're getting uncomfortable about this? You never seen mom and dad fight before?
Who got uncomfortable?
Deshaw, he was like,
You had to walk away.
Yeah, Justin got a little bit like, and then, so
Okay,
then,
guys.
so then Kyle walked away, and when they started bitching at me about other places, and then people come over to me, and they're like, "Kyle's all wound up. What'd you do?" I'm like, I don't know. I told him he was a painter.
1 6-shooter says Kyle's the guy that comes up while you're grilling to tell you everything you're doing wrong.
Yeah, he has no idea what you've already done.
That's a good looks like, Trevor. That's a good one. And CB would love some balloon animals right now. He wishes he was at a children's hospital.
But
I bet.
ugh, hospital ladies.
This is something that I am qualified to speak on, unlike asphalting a driveway. Spending 6 years working in a hospital full time. What's the nursing staff like, CB? Because those nurses that can make scrubs look good, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully you got some hotties, you know.
Nice.
Scrubs are not an easy thing to look smoking hot in.
I've seen it done.
You know, I've seen it done as well. So,
Well,
Curtis Ackerman says, Pete, you can make fun of Billy's sex life all you want, but you should know that he subscribes to more OnlyFans toy community girls than anyone else. I got a feeling. So if I had to bet money right now, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call it. Billy Beige is going to end up with Jen Gioni from Transformers G1 Hardcore. The one that does the naked, like she puts her tits on the table and does the reviews. You know what I'm talking about?
have we talked about her on this podcast?
I thought so.
We have.
I'm probably,
Is
yeah.
anybody else I'm talking about? Oh, okay. I don't think he'd be able to power bomb her. She's a decent sized lady, but
Well,
You never know.
you never know.
Adrenaline's running high.
Adrenaline and testosterone.
I mean, people pick up, buses off of kids, I guess.
Plus, dude, that goblin strength. That goblin strength, man.
He's such a goblin.
Those little things, man, you think they ain't gonna be that strong, but they're wiry.
Wiry.
Okay, so moving on to another. I need you guys' help. Got a situation. I just want to know if I'm being a dick. Chances are good.
Yes.
Chances are good.
Yes, you are.
Or on the flip side, am I being a pussy?
Ooh. Have you tried a pickled egg yet?
This right here.
You got a call? You gotta go?
Snowmobile on fire, endangering sailboats down by the marina.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
See you, buddy.
you got guys. Oh, yeah. You got guys for that?
You got guys. Can I still answer your question, or is this and then there was two?
No, we can still talk about this. I think
I mean, if you need Pete for it,
I don't think I need Pete for it.
because I know you really respect his opinion.
I do. A whole lot.
All of them.
By the way, I wish he was here. I don't want to tell him this to his face, but
We can wait for it. We got other stuff we can talk about.
afraid I'll forget. But all right, so Katie comes into my room. I'm
Your 20-year-old daughter now,
19.
right?
19.
19.
You guys have heard me talk about my kids quite a bit on this show.
Katie is a little angel.
Katie's a good kid. Got her boyfriend Parker, who she's been dating since like 8th grade. Weird. It's been a long time.
8th grade?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Parker's still around. Parker spends most of his time at our house. Doesn't really sleep there, but he's there for most meals.
He's never slept there?
He's spent the night in like one of our other rooms or stuff like for different reasons.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like. It's not like they're shacking up in my house. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
So she comes in my room and she goes, "Hey, okay." So one more piece of the puzzle. They play Fortnite nonstop at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I got a PS5 which I never use. They play Fortnite nonstop.
Kane's still playing Fortnite nonstop.
My other daughter is playing Fortnite too. So they actually have. Katie has she has a TV in her room that she's playing. Parker's right outside that room in my living room, usually using my big TV. And he's playing, and then Claire's upstairs in her room playing. They're all like in the same house playing together Fortnite a lot. And then a lot of times it's weird because now Claire has this little boyfriend and his name's Parker also. And he's at his house playing.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
You got two porkers?
I do right now. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to say.
Things happen.
P1's been around since, for years.
Mm.
Who knows? This other kid could be
Did you
gone.
say P1?
Yeah.
P1.
So she comes into my room and she goes, "Hey Dad, Parker he buys things, like skins and shit. So he's got his credit card or one of his debit card or something. He's got his debit card logged into our, what is it, Sony Plus?
Yeah.
Yep. Account. She goes, well, what's it called? The service you buy so you can play online?
I think it's like PlayStation Plus or something.
PlayStation
like
Plus.
Yeah.
She goes, when the PlayStation Plus just renewed,
it went on his account.
It went on his account. She goes, so you owe him like $80. So I don't play it.
You don't need it.
I don't need it. If I do play my PlayStation, on the off chance that someone's not downstairs playing the PlayStation that I bought that I never can play,
If you even get even if you get an opportunity,
I usually am playing Spider-Man, which doesn't
require it.
need
Yep.
this. So, am I a dick if I say I'm not paying for that?
No. I mean, you're gonna.
You're gonna pay for it.
You're gonna pay for it. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind you're gonna pay for it. But I don't think you're a dick for not paying for it. I think at some point there comes a time where these kids got to start paying for some stuff. I mean, I know you guys. What are you? Katie pays for her insurance.
She pays for insurance,
Which is friggin' astronomical. How much that stuff is starting to cost especially for kids.
Yep.
She works. She, I think there's some of these things like, hey, if you want it, you can pay for it because I don't need it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it.
Yep.
Now, had his credit card not been in there, it probably would auto paid my credit card.
It would have.
I wouldn't have said a thing because.
Yep.
But it's like,
Now that I know.
Now that it did pay, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing in the world if you have to pay because I'm not the one ever using it.
Yes. If you want it to be able to play like you are, then I think it's okay for you to pay for that. Does he have a job?
No, not at the moment, but he works at the marina all summer and makes pretty good money, and I think that gets him through.
Okay.
Same thing Katie does. So
Gotcha.
Katie's not working right now either. She's going to school.
She does norms and then
But she banks enough money from the summer to get through.
Yeah.
So Katie has a pretty decent bank account
Right
now.
Yeah. F them.
Screw them.
Yep.
Screw them.
Still paying for Canes, by the way. So.
Do you ever play it?
Never.
Never.
And I will say, yeah, that is probably something that I probably should get my card removed from. I mean, that's what PlayStation does. They freaking get your card and then they just auto bill you every year.
Yeah.
I mean, they got you.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, whatever you said, like $80 or whatever. So it's one of those where you're like, oh, damn it. But yeah.
Any thoughts from the chat? Any thoughts from the chat?
Chris Durant says, don't pay. Jeremy Durant says, pay to play, bitches. Dusty says, you're definitely not a dick in this situation.
Oh, in this situation.
Billy Bates said, I thought Curtis paid for the PS subscription. Stanley says, you don't have to worry about it now for a year. Billy says,
Cornway is calling.
oh.
Well, let me just take this.
Need help answering it?
Hello? Hello? Oh. Good. How are you? You are. Do you want me to put you on the podcast or do you want to talk to me? Oh. Okay. Well, let me put you on speaker and put you up to a mic. All right, everybody. Cornboy is here from the hospital. He's gonna maybe give us the people want have asked him to call in, and here he is. How you doing, Corn Boy?
I'm miserable right now, but I'm getting better.
Getting better. That's a good thing to hear.
That's what.
I started out with a high fever and had a I guess it was an infection, but it was a stomach ulcer. And then when they checked for the stomach ulcer, they found out that my heart had actually gotten a staph disease somehow. And they rushed me out of the Chilton Memorial Hospital.
Yeah.
And they rushed me down to Morristown Hospital and did emergency surgery on me. And I was there for I don't know how long, and I got out on December 22nd. That was early November when I went in there. And I went home. I finally got home after all that, and it was massive surgery. I'm not even going to go into all the stuff that was done, but I got home and my legs and feet were swelling uncontrollably, and it was the fluids were getting up into my lungs. Couldn't breathe, so I went back to Chilton Hospital, and I was in here for a couple of days, and they got it under control again, and went back home for about a week, and then they had me come back for a TEE, which is they put a scope down your throat, and they found out when they did that they were doing that in order to insert a new defibrillator in my chest. When they did that, they found out there was a thing called a heart block that I had going on, that my chambers weren't reacting the right way. So they decided to put a pacemaker in me too. And they had to check on blood cultures to make sure that infection, that original infection, was all the way clear. So now the doctor tells me, oh, we're going to take you in and put a temporary pacemaker in you, and we're going to run it in through your groin and into your heart. And I said, okay. And I didn't realize it, but when they do that, you have to lay flat on your back with your leg completely immobilized until they can do the other surgery. So I'm miserable right now. I fell asleep last night about 5 a.m. Because of back pains, and woke up about 8. So yeah, good times. I've been in a hospital since early November, in and out of the hospital. It sucks.
And it's one of those things, CB, where you think like going to the hospital is going to be relaxing and kind of nice, and it is so far from that.
Oh, no. You don't get any rest here.
No. They wake you up every 2 hours or whatever it is.
But the nurses bring me homemade cookies, and they get fresh donuts for me.
No, I bet they love you.
As I said in the chat, they don't mind wiping my ass when I have to use the bedpan. So that's a plus.
Yeah. So that's one of those things where you never really expect that that's something you're going to have someone do for you after you become an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's miserable. I'm the kind of guy who I just don't like people helping me. I like doing things my own way, and not asking for help. I never ask for help. And this is a case where I have nothing but help.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks, but
it's
getting better. Hopefully. Hopefully. And
so that's going on. It's going on like 2 months of mostly in the hospital.
Yeah, it's mostly in the hospital. I've been out of the hospital a total of about 2 weeks since early November.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I have to lay here on my back until the blood cultures come back and they say they're clear, and then they can put the pacemaker and defibrillator in. And I'll be transferred to another hospital from here. I'm here at Chilton again. I'll be transferred to Inglewood Hospital, which is 40 minutes away, to do that. So I'm going all over the place.
Could you imagine not having your phone, CB?
No, absolutely not. There's not, because like during the day, there's nothing on TV. You can't, like, I wouldn't survive if I didn't have my phone. It would kill me.
I think I did 4 days, which is literally nothing, but really helps me appreciate or understand what you are going through, because it's just not, going to the hospital is just not what you really envision ever. But
no, and I can't imagine what people did.
Yeah, before
20
phones,
or 30 years ago.
Oh my god. I mean, I like to read, but there's only so much you can really do.
Yeah, I've not been in any kind of position to read most of the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like there were 5 days after my open heart surgery to put the new mechanical valve in, that I was completely sedated, and when I woke up, I couldn't walk. Like I literally couldn't walk for 5 days. They had to get me out of the bed and move me to the chair and try to get me to do physical therapy. They had to use a hoist that hangs from the ceiling and hoist me up out of there and drop me into the chair.
Man,
it was miserable, and I was sedated, and I don't know what they used, but they I was hallucinating for a week and a half after that. It was really bad.
Yes.
Wow.
But like I said, we're getting better every day, and the hopefully this is going to be the last thing that pops up. And my temporary pacemaker that's in now, it hasn't fired once. My heart is on a normal rhythm. It hasn't done what they thought it was going to have to do. So it kind of sucks to have to lay here with that, but at least it's doing its job.
Yeah, so you're definitely moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
I will say that it's also like a true testament to the obsession of toys that you have, that you're literally lying in a hospital bed and trying to score the latest Mezco offering this last week.
I sent pictures of Dr. Doom when it got here. Corinne, my girlfriend, brought it into the hospital for me so I could open it and play with it, and send pictures to family and stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
The question is, do you like it?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, there were some parts that Mezco didn't use, that I don't know, maybe later on they could use them, but it really turned out great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I was really happy with it.
Awesome.
Very sharp looking figure, and then for you to have the opportunity to dip your toes again into a property that you really love is super cool.
Yeah, well, he contacted us to do Fantastic Four, and we really couldn't at the time. It just weren't the stars didn't align at the time for us to be able to do that. But then when Dr. Doom came up, we had a little extra time, and he said he really wanted us to do it because of like the armor and stuff we had done with Mythic Legions, and I said, heck yeah, let's do it.
No, that's so awesome.
And, it turned out great.
That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's really good to hear your voice.
Thanks. I've got a whole bunch of toys at home that have piled up since I've been here too. So I've been opening them, somewhat a little bit at a time, so I can stretch it out. But
Oh, I imagine you're going to have quite the pile built up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Mezco White Ranger just arrived today. I just got notification that it arrived, so there's another one.
Is it pretty much with Mezco? Is it if they put it out, you're buying it?
Yes. Yeah, now it is. When Mezco first started, I wasn't a completist, but now I absolutely am. Everything that they release, I absolutely love, and I think it's because of the all of the Migo that I grew up with as a kid.
Yeah.
It kind of harkens back to that, but it really it's really done way better than the Migo stuff, and I just love them.
Yeah, it's I had a buddy over the other day he likes toys, but he's not like us. He's not a collector. He grew up on them, but so I handed him. Because I have the Hiss tank out. I was showing him the classified stuff, GI Joes, and then I handed him the Mezco Destro, and he just was shocked at the level of that toy, compared to classified. And I said, well, there's definitely a huge difference in price as well, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. But it is just the next level of toy.
Yeah.
And that Migo connection for sure. I totally get that.
Yep. Listen, before I get off here, I gotta thank the guys at the studio for being so fantastic. They're really picking up my slack, and I really appreciate it. George and Eric and Jim and all the other guys that are at the studio, they're really, really kicking ass.
Oh, you guys definitely put together a pretty amazing family there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We've lucked out. We've really lucked out there. I appreciate every one of them.
Wow, it's a testament to you guys, and I will echo that till the end, that you guys have done. You've done an amazing thing putting together a pretty amazing crew that kicks out some wonderful toys, and I'm sure they're missing you every day too, buddy.
Yeah, I know George is missing me because he's having to pick up the slack of me not doing the project management stuff now. I mean, I've seen the emails come through back and forth between him and some of our other clients, and that's a lot of work that he's had to handle. So I appreciate him doing that.
I'm sure you do appreciate him, but everybody just wants you to get better. So you need to just rest and do what you need to do to get yourself back.
Will do.
And yeah, thank you for calling in, man. I think I know a lot of people have been curious as to how you're doing, so it's great to hear you.
Yeah, I've been through a lot of shit the last couple months, but we're almost there.
Sure.
Almost there.
Yeah, we love you, buddy.
Yep.
Love you too.
All right.
See you later, man.
Take care.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, that was cool.
Super cool. CB he must have been really bored. He's like, to call us.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, well, it's Sunday morning. I guess those idiots will be up.
He was miserable enough that we were the better option.
Oh, so funny. So how long have we known him now?
Oh man, well, I first met him at maybe 2018 PowerCon.
Okay.
That was the first con. I mean, you had messaged him because you warned him about me. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember that.
So there was some sort of contact.
There was some contact prior. Okay, yes. Yeah, because I do remember I messaged him and said,
something about my childlike wonder.
yes, you will really love his childlike wonder. He sent him a picture. He had to be, what's wrong with these people? I sent him a picture and it was from Silence of the Lambs. No, it's when Anthony Hopkins is in the cell and he sticks his tongue out. Does that like, hey, this guy's gonna interview you in an hour. Get ready. He lives 12 hours away from us, 13, whatever it is. And I feel like that dude is one of our good friends.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's amazing what this like toy community and social media, of course, is a huge part of this. And the ability to, have those kind of friendships over like long distances. And he's just a great dude. Holy cow, Pete.
Boy, did he time that great.
Oh my gosh. We need you right now.
Boy called in. He waited for Pete to leave because he knew he wasn't going to get to talk. And Pete was here.
Okay.
All right, everything okay? Are you good? Okay,
Well,
good.
I mean, it depends. If that was your snowmobile, you'd say no.
Yeah, I can imagine. CB did just call from the hospital and he wanted to just check in and say hi. So
Oh, well, fuck you, corn boy. Now I hope you got a big old fatty new nurse.
he did call Steve's phone too.
So, I don't have Corn Boy's number, and Corn Boy and I are not friends on Facebook. A little suspect. What are you gonna do?
Oh, Darren.
What I really love is that he would have called in sooner, but Kyle was there telling the doctors how to take care of him.
Quite possible. Quite possible.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that sounds like quite a hit show
Yep.
for him. But
He's working on getting better though.
Mhm.
So, yeah. Man, the people and the friends you meet, it's a wild part for sure.
What a good dude.
So good. So good. When people are going through struggles, Cornbay, he made it on the podcast, he's in the hospital room.
And he managed to get here, Jeremy.
he managed.
Jeremy's like, 2 inches of snow. Fuck this.
There's my dick-sized snow out there. I'm not going.
Is that how he did it? He went and laid down.
So
If his dick didn't leave a grass print because it didn't make it,
Yes.
he's out.
He's out.
So for those of you that don't know, I don't do much in the fire service anymore because
You're the boss.
Because it's not my job.
Yeah.
So I roll up. I'm first on the scene. I called dispatch, told them what we had. Yeah, fully involved snowmobile.
That's
so,
horrible planning.
What? But being first on the scene?
Yes.
I love being first on the scene. But I love being the guy to get on the radio and tell dispatch what we have.
Yeah, I get it.
Because I love the sound of my own voice. So I'm nothing if not honest, right?
I love to be the guy on the radio.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what's going on.
You know what? I'm going to share a special insight into my job. I'm going to share with the listeners what I said on the radio today. Fire dispatch, you can show 1390 on the scene. I've got a fully involved snowmobile. I do have exposures, multiple sailboats, 15 to 20 feet away. Do not appear to be in danger at this time. 1390 will be Lake Street Command. Have 1311 come straight in. And it was magnificent. 1311 came straight in, hit it with a deck gun, knocked it down. My dash says 15 degrees, right?
15?
15
Oh,
degrees.
shit. I bet
And
that
we're
was
right
tough.
up, but dude, we're on Lake Street.
Yeah.
Right next to the lake,
Yeah.
right? And the wind's whipping. I wasn't out of my truck 2 minutes and I couldn't feel my fingers.
Oh, I bet.
I went to text the owner of the snowmobile so he had my contact to be able to send me vehicle information, and my hands wouldn't work. I had to get back in my truck and thaw my fingers out to be able to text on my phone. It is brutal out there right now.
I mean,
Did you give an update on the time and weather before you signed up?
I did not, but I did advise them when the fire was knocked down. So There's not one person watching or listening right now that's surprised that I like to talk on the radio, right?
No,
I mean, that can't be a thing.
they shouldn't be for sure.
You know how I talk on the radio?
How?
Someone calls me and I go, "Where you at?" "Oh, over here by Dunham's." "I'll meet you there." We'll talk about it there. I don't like to talk on the radio. I hate the radio.
I totally get that. Woo! All right.
All right, yeah.
Bless you. Bless
So,
you.
Thank you.
Jeremy's not here, so I think we were at we'd be rolling into toy news at this point.
Probably gonna skip it.
That segment would have only been 2 inches long, like his dick, anyways. So,
I will say, Four Horsemen Studios. Speaking of the wonderful corn boy, today is the day.
It is.
Yep. Last day you could order directly from Four Horsemen Studios. The recommendation obviously is get in there, order right from them. There is a discount, and there is also a exclusive bonus. Bonus head. One day I just wait, and one day just like scanners, Pete's gonna hold that sneeze in, and it's just gonna.
all of a sudden, half my body's going to be paralyzed.
Also possible.
I'm going to have it in the throat.
Real quick though, there is a super chat from Curtis. Can someone go back in time and grab that? We did miss one super chat.
Love you, CB.
Yes.
Oh, no. There's no money
another
attached
one.
to that.
I think there's another one. I think Curtis is just so special. He gets, when he comments anything, it just automatically gets it.
I think it's hilarious that since Jeremy isn't there, you put junk on his chair on camera.
That makes me feel close to him.
Agreed.
Thank you, Curtis.
So, I guess I do have a little bit of.
Well, just to finish that up, get in there.
Yeah.
If you do not order directly from the Four Horsemen, there will be retailers that will have their orders open for extended amount of time if money is an issue where you need a little bit more time on this. But the recommendation is you make sure you get these items ordered so you don't have to worry about it down the road.
Jesse Arnold says, Pete, check your friend request. He probably sent you one 4 years ago.
That's definitely true.
So I do have a little bit of toy news that we can do. I can't put pictures up because no Cody, but I would like to see. I know Pete's not going to give a rat's ass about this, but Travis may have an opinion. Super 7 must have the license to the cartoon Dungeons and Dragons, and they're going to be putting out.
I did see that. I love D&D, but I have zero attachment to that because I didn't watch those cartoons.
And that's why I figured you wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You should. You should sometime.
They're actually good.
They are good. Yeah. You would really enjoy them, actually.
The problem is there's just
Too
so
much.
much.
Yeah. No, I understand that too.
I mean, Amanda and I yesterday were like, hey, what do you want to watch? And we kind of ran through the list of what we've got in process, and there's just a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, shoot.
What?
Jeremy just tried to FaceTime in, and I missed it.
Wait, who's Jeremy?
Jeremy's like, oh, you guys are taking calls? Well, then I'll just...
We don't take his.
No, we don't take his. He opted not to be here. Cornboy's stuck in a hospital.
He was just going to... Oh, wait. Oh, I think Kane must be talking to him because it says join.
Kane?
Our phones are linked, so don't be
Oh.
careful.
Oh, you guys are going to smell that. I'm sorry.
Waiting for Jeremy to answer, or waiting for Travis to interrupt their conversation. Oh,
Jeremy? Were you talking to my kid or something?
Yeah. Give you guys some information or something to talk to, or to talk about.
As if we haven't been doing fine without you. That's hurtful.
Your kid was like, his face appeared. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, that is clearly not what's on the screen right now.
What do you think it's like for his friends when they try and FaceTime him and I answer nude?
I love that. I love doing that shit.
It's one of my favorite things.
Wiener isn't hanging out, right?
Yeah. Welcome to...
you guys are talking about the Super 7 stuff with the Dungeons and Dragons, but also Super 7 lost the, I think it's the Disney license.
Yeah, I read that.
I did not see that. That's interesting. Not too surprising.
So like they're going to stop doing the Simpsons stuff, and I assume the rest of the Disney stuff. I don't know what the hell Disney was thinking. Like, I mean, they aren't, all their Super 7 stuff ain't going to like some mass retail shit. I mean, you'll see things here and there, but
there was some pretty
interesting.
There was some pretty big opinions on that post, Jeremy. Did you read those? Because Maverick, I think, shared that in our support group. There was some of our listeners had some pretty big opinions as to why that was happening.
Oh, I guess I didn't follow up on that.
Yeah, yep. There's just some basically, one of the comments from one of our toy friends, customizer friends, was kind of to the effect of, this would be a hell of a lot more successful if you weren't selling $20 figures for $55. And I can't disagree, but yeah, somebody had said that they had opened up the Mo, and that was pretty cool. They hadn't opened up the rest of them yet, but there was really kind of some shared opinions as far as the price point of those figures not being what they really should be. But Disney is such a licensing powerhouse. I have to think that their licensing is, I mean, what we've talked about on the show, they make $54 billion a year just in licensing royalties.
Right.
So I think Super 7 may have, with that licensing fee, may have bit off maybe a little bit more than they could chew, and then they have to pass that on to the consumer, so they make a cheaper product and have to sell it for the same price. But that's just conjecture.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of people.
I'm not Kyle. I don't know. I wasn't in that room, when they made those decisions.
Yeah, so it then makes you wonder, like, shit, man, these Disney things, like, they didn't go over so well, and obviously we can all say that price is a fucking pain in the ass with those things.
Without a doubt.
I mean, we're seeing that across the board with those guys, and I don't know if there's anything that they can do. I don't know business shit, so I don't know if there's anything they can do to, drop prices on any of that. I mean, obviously, if it doesn't sell, they're doing that. Or people are picking up those turtles cheap as shit, but yeah, it's just a bummer because here you go, you're getting all these, new figures. They start off with the Simpsons, and yet they don't have all 4 or all 5 of the main characters yet because they do that thing that Super 7 does, and they jump around, and now it's another toy line. People are gonna be like, well, fuck.
I can see that being a pretty risky move, to fork out the money for that licensing, and then to have the figures not do well and have the inability to recoup that, and then all of a sudden lose the opportunity to move forward and try to fix that. I mean, that could be a pretty big hit to Super 7, I would think.
I didn't know anybody who had bought the Disney stuff. I bought one. I bought Pinocchio.
You were the only person I would have known that would have.
I was super excited.
I know you like him too for Amanda. Yep.
The problem, well, no, even for me, but the problem is they didn't really hit what I was looking for, but it gave me hope that they would.
That's the problem, I think, too, is their selection out the door was for older fans. I mean, they're going back to Pinocchio, they're doing Robin Hood, they're doing all this stuff. What if they would have done Beast from,
Well, and it wasn't even Robin Hood, it was the King. Or
like you start off with fucking DuckTales or some shit,
What about even Frozen? Yeah.
Exactly.
Put one of those in there.
You honestly, if you would have picked one in that wave that would have got me to buy it, no questions asked, if you would have given me my cartoon Aladdin Genie, I would have been stoked. Because I think, but I agree with you, Beast, that a big imposing figure, and I think they could have come out swinging with a little bit, but then again, they may have done that because of the licensing fees. Pinocchio really hasn't been around much. Robin Hood, they haven't done much with. They've done reboots of stuff. They've brought some of those other characters back into the forefront of people's minds. Maybe they did the ones that they could afford, and to try to get it off the ground.
Yeah, and who knows? I don't know if that's per license. Like, is Pinocchio a different license or is it Disney cartoons is one light? I don't know what they have.
I would imagine that it's probably prorated. And somebody could, but I mean, I would imagine that if you want to, I mean, you can't just pay the NCAA and make all college apparel.
Right.
You
I'm
know?
sure there is more
If you,
to it.
it's going to
Yeah.
cost you
Yeah.
more to make a U of M t-shirt than it's going to cost, West Backwoods Mountain Appalachian State.
We should ask
And-
Kyle.
I would assume that Disney is the same way. Frozen, with how new it is and how I think that probably would have been out of the price range. So it makes sense to me that they would use some of those older characters, but if you would have given me like a Mrs. Potts or a Lumineer or something like from Beauty and the Beast, I would have bought that for my wife in a heartbeat. So
They could definitely do the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey now, though.
Sure can. They still can.
So
Legends Collector 1321 says, I think that point would be enough if every figure they made didn't feel like I got it at Five Below. So that's obviously speaking to the quality of the figures. So
See, I don't feel like they're that bad.
No.
So
Yeah,
I
but
don't either. I think Super 7's doing a good job with what they've done. They've come a long fucking way. I mean, I just think their shit's way too expensive.
realistically, 1/6 Shooter says, I'm sure the older stuff is cheaper because obviously we're both brilliant, him and I. Him in the photography lab, me in the bedroom. It is those skill sets align. But this is a perfect example of these companies. If you're not growing, you're dying, right? There really is no third direction. But I think there is such a thing as growing too fast, and maybe tackling something like Disney. That might have been a swing for the fence that they didn't have the bat speed for.
Here's what.
Where do you think they go then? Do you think they try to get some other properties here, or just Super 7 just kind of?
Well, they just we were just talking about they just grabbed cartoon Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. Well, and that's what inspired me to give you a wonderful call, because I missed all of your voices so much. But now they're doing, which really sucks, because the people that bought the other ones are like going, fuck. Now they have these like way better versions. Of course, way more expensive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, going to be a lot more pricey though.
Yeah. So it's like, do you just settle for the things that have been on fucking discount for the last couple months, or do you go for these new ones? Obviously, they have different characters that they're picking from and all that. But shit, if you ask me, start getting into some of them old fucking Hanna-Barbera shits or something. I don't know, man. I think that Super 7 could cover a lot of ground with some of those old cartoons. I mean, if
I'm going to
people are into
give
them,
you
obviously, but
I'm going to give you the Lord's view of what I think has happened with Super 7.
oh, here we go.
Super 7 comes out of the gate, taking over Motu for a little while, right? Cut their teeth on that, learn how to make toys a little bit better, because at first it was weird. I'll be honest, Super 7 still throws us curveballs that are kind of weird now.
Candy
cane, But-
so what's?
But they cut their teeth on that. I think they did reasonably well.
Yes.
And they're like, okay, well, look at this. We should do more of this. So then what do we go? I think then we're going to get into like things like Turtles. The Turtles did reasonably well. Great sculpts. 4 Horsemen were doing them. Everything comes out of the gate. If you remember right, that Raphael was the first release, I believe. He sold out and was not available for a little while, and his price was shot up to ridiculous amounts. The supply was less than the demand. Okay. And then, so they got into that situation where everybody freaked out. Everybody's like, well, these turtles are on fire. Let's all buy them, right? Big Bad Toy Store obviously has put in pretty large orders with Super 7, because it got to the point where, like, as you all know, people like me, who was pre-ordering everything, said, I ain't fucking pre-ordering anything anymore. Super 7 has it in stock for the same price. Or not Super 7. Big Bad Toy Store has it in stock for the same price, and I'll just cherry pick. Instead of me throwing out $250 for a wave, I'll buy them when I can here and there, and that's what I've been doing, right? And as we know, we've seen the Big Bad Toy Stores and everybody discounting these figures. So I think what happened was an overcorrection. They all ordered way too much. The stuff sat around to the point where they've had to put it on clearance. Now they're getting rid of all that stuff, but Super 7, who was getting these giant orders from places like Big Bad Toy Store, probably was like, this is freaking great. Let's go. Let's get more. All of a sudden, I'm assuming at this point, Big Bad Toy Store and the likes are backing down their orders now and saying, no, we're gonna be a little bit more conservative here. And now we're starting to see things sell out. Did you know it's like Tigra from
I knew Tiger was a higher dollar one.
he's sold out.
Yeah.
He's $150 if you want a Tiger right now.
Oh,
It's
wow.
been a while since we've seen a Super 7 figure do that.
Yeah.
There's been the whole Clear Jaga thing selling out. He's over the $200 and some if you want to try to get your hands on a Clear Jaga.
So you think it's corrected now?
Chitara, glowing Chitara just sold out at $90 for that figure.
$90.
And she's a glow in the dark Chitara. And she's sold out.
Well, now they got the new wave too, and I think what they're dropping that like if you buy all 4 from Super 7, you also get this bonus head pack.
Yeah,
So I think they're trying to correct it so maybe they can get some business direct. I don't know.
So I think people like me are in a danger mode where if we don't start jumping back on the pre-order, we're going to miss out on some figures we want.
Yeah.
Because I think everything's course correcting, and I think we're going to see lower numbers of figures from Super 7 now. Other people have called this. I'm not a genius, but
Well, I feel like they said something about like when that Rat King, when they put him up finally, the good version of him, like how they were saying like order it, only through or like exclusively through Super 7 or something like that. I don't know, honestly, I haven't checked Big Bad Toy Store, but if that's the case, then you can only go through them, and you have to get all this shit. You're definitely going to be paying the $55 for him and all that. So, like, is he going to be available later, or is this going to be a rare figure now?
Hey, Jeremy, are you ready for the Kenny Loggins? We're buying through the danger mode.
Buying
through the danger mode. So one thing I think people are going to be doing is they're going to look at these and go, well, everything's clearancing. I'm not buying Super 7 stuff because I'm going to wait for it to go on clearance. Well, I don't
That's
think.
where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be short-lived.
Yeah.
We're sitting on the edge, watching all the clearance shelf.
And by the way, a comment on yesterday's Toy Get Together. What a bunch of cheap bastards. Everybody there was like, I'm not buying that until it goes on clearance. I'm like, hey, did you see the new Mutton Junkyard for freaking G.I. Joe Glass? It's pretty cool, but I ain't buying it until it goes on clearance. I'm like, if everybody does that, all these toys are going to fit.
Yep.
Well,
That is the hard part. Yeah. I don't know. I look at that Super 7 stuff and go, man, I still think right out of the gate their prices are just too high.
Yep.
I still feel like I don't have enough information to know.
What
Because they have to be that
No,
high.
and I understand that part, but do you're buying them, so they're not too high for you, but do you still think quality wise, what you're getting, is it worth what you're paying for Super 7 product?
Hard to say. I think quality wise, they're pretty good.
No, they're good toys. I totally
with their quality.
I'm not saying they're not good.
You a lot of accessories, but like I wonder if they cut back on some of the accessories and whatever, made the price a little bit better. If they might get some more business.
Well, Jesse Arnold, Shooting the Shelf, 9 p.m. on Sundays on the Just Shelve It YouTube channel. There's a annoying asshole that's on there with him. I don't remember his name, but
great theme song, by the way.
Absolutely. He made a comment earlier in this conversation that loves the Super 7, loves all the accessories, but he's not a mint in box guy. So I think that, hey, if you dumb down that packaging, there's a way to save some money there and get those figures down, because that type of packaging has to cost more than what it needs to be.
Oh yeah, that's quality shit.
I thought that was a super cool. That's a cool perspective of, I'm paying extra for this. It's a great figure, great accessories, but I'm paying extra for it to be in something that I'm going to tear apart and throw in the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you drop that down, like, say $10 or whatever, and don't have all that fancy packaging.
Right.
I mean,
that might make all the difference.
I'm going to be more in.
I mean, you gotta look at. I bought a G.I. Joe Copperhead at Target the other day, and he was $26.
Wow.
$26 from Hasbro at retail. Super 7 has to buy a license.
Yep.
Has to have the licensing and low run compared to Hasbro, I'm assuming, by a long shot. Low run is more expensive and tons more accessories than you're ever getting with a G.I. Joe or anything else. I don't know how all that calculates.
But is that the customer's fault?
That's not the customer's fault.
And that's
what it is.
It lands on.
I don't know if it's hey, this is what we have to charge to keep doing this.
I'm sure it is.
If you want it, buy it. If you don't.
I'm totally
sure.
For
For me, there are certain characters and certain toy lines that I will pay for that.
Yeah. Well, and
Oh yeah, give me some fucking Hanna-Barbera Pac-Man cartoon figures, motherfuckers.
yeah, that would be cool. I can understand like that. That to me sounds like a great idea. Better than jumping in on a Disney property, which I can't imagine what that
Those
costs
should be
them.
$55.
Herculoids, fucking.
Well, but if you, I would like to think that on the business side, Super 7 was prepared for the Disney licensing opportunity and was prepared to have it not go the way that they wanted. So it didn't end up negatively impacting the other things that they have going on. You'd hope that they made that business decision and said, okay, here's what we can do. We want to dip our toe into Disney. This is what we can afford to do and keep it in its own realm where it doesn't, again, have a ripple effect through our other properties. And hey, this is a loss. It didn't work. Okay, we move on. Versus putting all their eggs in that basket. And now they're going, okay, well, we've got to sell all of these He-Man and all of these Turtles and all of these other things to fix what went wrong with Disney.
I think you, Steve, you hit it right on the head. You do need to, the things you want from them, you need to make sure you're snagging them, because I think that line is also coming towards the end.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure.
And you know how history has shown those last couple lines in a toy wave, those can be the hard to get ones.
Yeah,
That's what kind of sucks too, is because like they're throwing new versions of like Turtles at us. Like, here's a Leo that you never got in the past that you don't give a fuck about, but here he is.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, you're missing a couple of dudes that I want.
Pretty important, dudes.
Well, the other problem too is you look at, okay, so Thundercats, you guys have loved those figures and good on you. That is not an endless pool of figures. At some point they're going to make all of them with Turtles, with G.I. Joe, those properties. You do that for years.
There are a gazillion Thundercats characters. Whether their fandom will support going that deep, is the thing that is
I think gazillion's a little high, but
if you ever see the character list, it's huge.
Have they made the bears yet?
No.
The Burbles?
The
The
Burbles.
Burbles, yeah.
At the end of the day, before we move on, because we kind of beat this to death, as long as Super 7 can pan the slope, we're going to be fine.
If they can pan the slope. So anyways, I probably will be in on these Dungeons and Dragons characters.
Really?
I love Sheila. She's so hot.
Did you buy the Hasbro versions?
No, I didn't like the quality. I saw a lot of reviews where they were just shit.
Yeah.
Arms were snapping off and shit.
Yeah. So to get some good ones, I would be like down. Plus, I love like this. I love the skeleton. It's so 80s. What is he?
Curtis said, since you forgot to ask Cornboy, can you ask Jeremy if we are getting a dragon this year?
What'd you say, Jeremy?
Uh-huh.
I thought you said something.
Yeah, the name is like Dekki, D-E-K-K-I.
Yeah, and I remembered the episode of that he was in, and I thought he was cool looking as a cartoon, and I just think, it doesn't go with Legions, just so you know, but I just think it's cool.
I don't know, those fucking well, no, they wouldn't go with Legions, but those
Travis is
those
struggling.
demons, those look cool.
He's struggling. Travis is struggling.
All right.
Cornboy's watching. He can't take any more of your bullshit. All right.
I don't think that goes with Legions. I'm what I'm more questioning is the fact that you're actually going to buy one of those.
He likes apes. Remember that documentary you watched?
Those are cool. I like Venger's little spirit things or whatever they were.
Mm-hmm.
I like those. They're creepy.
They're fun.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Jeremy, I made the best platter for you today.
I know.
The
sucks.
The whole time I was making it, I was thinking about you.
I love you.
Love you
And let me tell you, fucking Cornboy, man, me and Laura were over here crying, god damn it.
Yeah, I know.
I love that guy. I hope he can make it to MesquiCon.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed it.
Yeah.
What?
Bullshit.
Well, you had to talk on the radio.
Yep.
Also,
Jeremy's
coming
like,
up,
I'm out of here.
Unless Steve has something important to say here.
it's not important. I was just going to talk about the new Super 7 Thundercats wave.
What else do you have to do today?
Snarfer?
Yeah, Snarfer's coming, guys.
Oh, great.
Oh,
I didn't even know he existed.
Oh yeah, Snarfer. He was reckless, man.
I wanted to, as a 12-year-old boy, I want to kick Snarf off a cliff.
Well, this isn't Snarf. This is
Well, now
Snarf.
you get is it his
His-
nephew?
His nephew.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, how do you not? I mean, Snarf. Well, I can't.
There's Snarfer, there's Young Lion-O, which I can see an outlet for that one. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah,
saw that
12-year-old
picture.
young lion.
Oh, it's hideous.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
That looks like some kind of some kind of sex toy that someone made. Creepy.
What about
like-
what about Spectral Mumra? No.
Oh yeah, the Dream Master Mumra.
Yeah, I remember that when he was.
I'm all
he
about
was-
translucent shit, but I ain't gonna pay fucking whatever $85 for him. Or
People
whatever.
people will love that figure though.
Oh yeah, he looks cool as shit.
Yeah.
And then there's Grasshopper Guy.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah, Grasshopper
God,
guy.
Steve.
Quick pick.
I remember that character too. I don't know if I have to have
Super
that one.
Sevens
though.
to a Grasshopper Guy. Meanwhile,
That looks like a leftover
Dropping
from a
bears
fucking
and
Disney
shit.
thing.
It kind of does, but
I don't know who that is, but
such crazy character designs in that line. So
Wow.
yeah, I don't know if I need Snarfer or Grasshopper Guy or I think the only one I want is 12-year-old Lionel.
Oh, that's disgusting.
it's disgusting.
Does that make me disgusted?
You just said the only thing you want is a 12-year-old Lionel.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's part of the storyline.
No.
They got to reuse those Wily Cat parts.
Oh, that's what that is.
I'm guessing
Oh.
some of those parts got to be the arms and legs and stuff. I bet. I think.
Nothing in that way, but I would even consider.
Well, you might see some of them here on the show.
I'm sure we will. That'll be cool to check out.
Yeah, no.
Did you have anything else, Jeremy?
There's a couple things. I just sent you some pictures. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but there's that company called CBS Labs, and they advertised it a while back. It's expensive as shit, but these are those really quality like statue pieces, and there's a red Sonia that's coming out, and I figured I'd send you some
Ooh,
pictures.
she is
fucking
hot.
hot.
Oh my gosh!
Legends
Problem
Collector.
is they put these little tiny red hearts over where her nipples should be, and that really offends me.
I wouldn't
so.
display her like that. I don't think that I need to see nipples. But scroll through this.
Legends Collector 1321 says, I feel like I've been waiting for Gorilla for 3 years now. That mixed with the QC is my biggest holdup with Super 7.
Oh yeah. I ended up canceling most of that shit. I'm like, yeah, I don't even. I've been waiting for so long. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Red
Back to-
Sonia,
yeah.
she's
Oh, look
she's
at that
fucking
face.
hot. Look at that dumper on her.
Oh yeah, that is
It's an orgasm face.
I would
Not that
really,
Steve would know.
I'd really love to know the scale on this bad boy.
yeah. He wants to know
huge.
1 to
It's like
1.
$1,000. So
Did you say $1,000?
Yeah, but if
regular
it's right
version,
size.
closed torso with 2 heads is $1,000.
Wow.
Deposit 200. It says it's 1/4. So I don't know if that's
Quarter scale.
I'm gonna go make a
Quarter scale.
deposit right now. But
she's hot though.
I'd take another ice water.
I'm good.
The 2 torsos with 2 heads, the exclusive version is $1,700.
What's it from?
Red Sonia.
CBS Labs.
Oh, that.
No, I was asking you answering my question. I didn't know if it was just a hot chick or what.
Without Cody
Oh.
here, we can't put this girl up on the screen, but do yourself a favor and check this out, preferably when your wife and kids aren't home.
Well, they don't show the nips. But
I don't
yeah.
need to see them. I can fill it in.
I just fit it in my mouth.
My brain can do that.
They also for the I sent you a couple more pictures. They also have a version by Boss Fight Studios, the Epic Hacks of
Yeah.
Red Sonia, and I don't think she gets nipply, but she looks pretty good for $50.
She's pretty good, but she's not her face. She's too angry all the time.
Yeah, she doesn't look like Tawny Katan. So
But that looks like an interesting figure. What size is that?
That one is.
It looks like a 6-inch to me.
I think it's a six incher.
6 or 7 there.
Yep. But even she looks good. I'd like to see your number too.
Yeah, they don't show you the dump.
No, don't show you the dump.
Damn.
All right, that's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah, there's some Ghostbuster shit.
That's
but I'll
all
wait
you
till-
got. I'll take your best shot. All right. Well,
So
we'll move on. Thanks for
carry on, fellas. Love you.
thanks for all your effort
Love
today.
you, bud.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, interesting stuff. I don't know if Travis has any
Toy drama.
toy drama, but
I think I have some. It might
you
be
do?
a little old now, though.
you do toy drama. Toy drama. I think people still enjoy that segment. It's not as repetitive as it used to be. In the meantime, Pete seems to be taking a while. Let's talk about Mwigtkm. Mwigtkm coming up on March 16th this year.
This year.
Be there, be square. Pete, how's it coming along?
Slow and steady wins the race as always. So coming back off a holiday and getting back in the swing of work and stuff, I gotta dig in and answer some emails. There's people upset on Facebook that they emailed me and haven't heard back yet, and I tried to explain to them that it's not my full-time job and I have a family, and it is what it is, I guess, but never gonna make everybody happy. So some vendors are more difficult to work with than others, and every vendor has different expectations as far as, a lot of vendors vend at multiple different shows. So they have expectations of how certain things are done or not done. Mwigtkm has quite a few vendors that this is like the only show they do or they're first timers. So their expectations are a little bit different as to what, as far as information goes. That's always a little bit frustrating, worth it, but frustrating. So, I never get things done in time the way that I want to, no matter what I do every year. This is what always happens. So it'll smooth out like it always does and be a good show. So there's got to be 50 people on the wait list. So
50 people on the wait list. Great convention center, nice place. This year, hopefully Pete will have a microphone that works.
Yep.
And if not, we will riot. But no, if you like us, if you like our show, if you like Four Horsemen stuff, you like Mythic Legion stuff, if you like stuff in general, you need to come to Mwigtkm and see us.
It's definitely worth a walkthrough. A ton of great vendors. One of them, I literally have so many people on the wait list now. I could do a 2-day show and reset the vendor hall, and it would be back-to-back days with completely different vendors. So there's a ton of interest. I can't get any bigger really, which is a little bit unfortunate. I wish I had more room to grow because
Extend works every year.
I'm fine in that category because I have my wife totally duped. So, but yeah, Friday night, the Mythical Michigan Midwest meetup. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Working on some hopefully special surprises for that event. Whether or not we're going to pull that off, I'm not sure yet, but should be a good time. So, yeehaw.
Do or do not. There is no try, Pete. Pull it off.
Curtis, any food this year? I'm not sure what you're asking about. As far as like food vendors,
I think he means food options. Like,
there was food options last year, wasn't there? I mean, there was a whole thing set up in the hallway that you could get like sandwiches and pizzas and all sorts of stuff.
Was there?
Yeah, where you got the drinks. They had like wings or chicken tenders and fries, and so
I don't remember that.
They don't allow food vendors, so I had to turn away the ice cream bar people and the cotton candy people and the popcorn people again this year. I took that right to the top, and they say the rules don't allow it. So every other convention I've ever been to does. Why this one doesn't, I'm not sure. But I fought the fight, and I fisted as hard as I could, He-Man, but I couldn't fist them all. So.
Yep.
Well, so there's also a restaurant right there that has food.
In the hotel.
And yeah, which is it's just like 100 feet. So
Yeah, there's always the restaurant, sure. For sure.
But yeah, no, there was food. And we streamlined our process for feeding vendors this year, like we have in the past. The SkiCon has always gotten complimented for the way we take care of our vendors. Not only having actual SkiCon staff to cover a booth for like a bathroom break, for like, because there's a lot of vendors that are solo. They don't have a ton of friends that were lured in with like Red Lobster dinners and nice hotels, only to then get all that taken away from them, except for the workload, like some people. And the staff goes around and actually takes food orders and then delivers the food to the booth. And the vendors have always really liked that. Last year it was about 75% good. I don't remember if Jeremy got his food or not. I don't remember him talking about it repeatedly for like 6 months, if he did or not. So
I knew there were some hiccups.
Yeah, it was not flawless. What happened last year was the staff from the convention center, in trying to be respectful, and when approaching booths, if people were talking to customers, they didn't want to interrupt. That was a good thing, but the communication of who they didn't get to double back to didn't go well. So some people did get missed. Some people did order food and they didn't show up right or something, but we put a plan together. I've already met with that staff for this year and how to alleviate that from happening. So,
well, the convention center was pretty new last year too, and
we're only like the 5th or 6th event that had ever occurred there.
Yeah, so
and a lot of them
a year
are like
later
business shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hopefully a year later, these people have gotten a little bit more experience in dealing with this sort of stuff.
A lot of the things that they deal with is like, it's a convention, but it's, hey, these people are here to see this presentation or this speaker. They don't, and those types of events don't include 2,500 people walking through the door,
Yeah.
And that obviously changes the game a little bit. So,
yeah. Travis, any toy drama?
No drama.
No drama.
No.
Hey, Jesse, that's exactly what we did. They'll have a full checklist of all of the vendors so that they'll be able to go around and see whose order they've taken and then whose order they've delivered to make sure that doesn't happen. That's exactly what we did to solve it. Cornboy says that barbecue place was awesome, Nate. He went there twice. It is. It's very good.
Yep. What's that called? Dr. something?
Dr. Rolf's.
Dr. Rolf's.
Yep. So
I got a little bit of drama now that I think about it.
Okay.
It's,
Let's do it.
I thought it was all the stuff that I would need the Cody for, but nope. Toy Farce posts their video. Collector who has zero intentions of buying Monitor Wave, furious about the price increase of the Monitor Wave, from McFarlane Toys.
What's a Monitor Wave?
Monitor Wave is it's actually a character, and I imagine that's the Build Connect figure, the BAF.
Okay.
Yep. And there's more information on this whole Monitor Wave. It's apparently what it is it's McFarlane is putting this up. You have to buy it directly from him.
Okay. With a price increase.
And this is the piece that is getting people a little worked up. But this was posted in toynews.com, toynewseye.com, and Gavin, our own Gavin, jumped in and dropped a comment on this.
Okay.
Gavin said, I'm just pissed that I own a comic shop and these are his exclusive. You know who wants these? Comic fans, and I can't carry them. Thanks a lot, Todd. Wade to needle out comic shops with endless Target, Walmart, and your own store exclusives. Yeah, I can imagine that can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. Warren Grant said, buying the monitor wave or not, DC Multiverse fans can still be worried about this price increase affecting the hobby they love.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Back when I first started collecting, hardcore, 10 years ago, ish, Masters of the Universe Classics were like $22 a piece. I think by the time I was done with that line, they were 27. Now I'm into Mythic Legions, which are at wholesale, what, 33, 34?
37,
37?
maybe 38.
Yeah. I remember when there was like a $2 increase from $22 back in the day. Everybody was like, oh, I'm quitting. This is the end of classics, blah, blah, blah. Prices are going to continue to go up. It just happens. Just depends on whether or not you feel like you can afford to keep up with it or not. Everybody, there's just always so much. Wah.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, the next comment is a guy who says, the next guy says, I definitely wanted them, but I'll boycott at that price. If we all start paying that, they'll increase everywhere else. $39.99 for some mediocre figures with pins. Christopher Brand said, keep your money in your pocket, save for a better product. But I mean, that's what it comes out to, right? These are the choices you got to make.
They are choices you got to make.
Yep. And some people, no
Like
problem.
me, I've chose to put my money, where my mouth is with Disney, and Disney's feeling it. I'm not watching a lot of Disney product, and I know they're seeing that I've just about got them destroyed.
You're showing Disney.
I am showing Disney.
Just look, Super 7 had to drop out because
Take that.
Yep.
Take that. I refuse to watch this Echo shit.
You refuse to watch it.
Now what are you going to do, Disney?
Everybody that's watched it has absolutely loved it and said it's awesome.
Not what I've heard, but
I'm only
You only talk to assholes and yourself.
I'm a couple episodes in. I like it. I wouldn't say I love it.
yeah.
But I want to finish it.
But I wouldn't expect Steve to like it. It has a female lead.
No, Steve is not gonna like it.
Everything does nowadays. I just can't wait.
God damn it!
That's true.
You make me want to smash my fucking face into the wall.
I mean, there's all kinds.
I don't know. I just watched John Wick, and there wasn't a female. There wasn't a female lead in there.
So right now, okay, what I'm currently watching, okay, Carnival Row, male lead, okay, Jack Reacher, male lead, Night Agent, male lead. I mean, that's three just off the top of my head that just I happen to be watching. All male leads.
Okay.
So, Wheel of Time, multiple male leads.
Steve ain't watching those. He's watching the one with the female.
Right.
That's
It's
I'm watching Reacher.
It's if you at the end of the day, if all you bang is fat chicks and you're gonna bitch about fat chicks, well then don't bang fat chicks. Like, yeah, I banged this fatty last night. Well then why'd you bang the fatty if you're gonna bitch about banging a fatty? Reacher's amazing, by the way.
The people that hear me really hear me. They know what I'm talking about. He just sounds like
I do hear you. You are right. There are more female leads than there used to be. No, there's not mostly female leads. You don't. You can't say
we're gonna need someone to break down the stats.
But that's it's
if
no
they're not
different than
female
any
leads,
other statistic.
And if they're not female leads, they most of the time prop a male up there to get you to start watching it, only to make the chick way better and cooler and more powerful. And if they're a 130-pound chick throwing a friggin' 200-pound guy through a window, and just all this bunch of shit that looks really friggin' stupid.
So do you remember that picture that Justin posted of that really buff chick? She could throw a man through a window. Like
maybe.
that is a thing. Like that can happen, right? But you can't always.
There are very isolated situations where that can happen.
That's 3 times now. I've let him finish out of respect, and he keeps cutting me off.
I learned it by watching you. All right,
and that's totally fine. But Roger would be disappointed to know that you're such a chauvinistic asshole,
Roger.
And you say things like most of, and that's not accurate.
No, it is.
Because but it's not.
No, it is.
Because there's no way for you to know that it's most of anything. I just watched a romantic comedy and it was actually delightful. By the way, it was called Anyone But You.
Yeah, you went to the theater?
I did. We did. Yes. And it was amazing. Now I will say, female and male, I would say almost say co-leads.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. The female was, I would, if I had to pick a lead, it was the female.
Well, rom-com.
It was a rom-com.
Yeah.
That's supposed
So-
to be
right.
made for chicks.
Right. So, I also watched a delightful movie called Xmas, but it was EXMAS, and that was a male lead. Again, absolutely delightful. If you want to go into an experience looking for something to complain about and just be a miserable bastard most of the time, you can do that. If you want to go out and you want to find things that fit what you're trying to say, then by all means, you can do that. If I wanted to go out and find, like, if I wanted to only watch, like, superhero movies are absolute dog shit. Every one that I've seen. Well, which ones have you watched, Peter? Well, I watched Green Lantern. I watched the shitty Deadpool Wolverine one. I watched, Batman and Robin. Well, yeah, you can do that if you want to. Steve is to the point now of where he is actually ruining his viewing pleasure just to be angry. He's going out of his way to find movies that fit his criteria.
I'll agree with
so
this.
he can be shitty about it.
I agree with this.
And that's totally fine. If that's how you want to live your life, by all means, do that. But, Matt Rodriguez, you're missing out on the opportunity for some great content because you just need to fit this criteria of the alpha male. And that's sad. That makes me sad.
No.
Okay.
Time. Jeremy, can we get your opinion on this?
I don't completely disagree with Pete. Like, dial it down about 35%, and that's probably how I feel. I think Steve.
Would you
I
say
think
that you
he's
mostly agree with me?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I mostly agree with your opinion. I just don't feel so passionate about it. Like Steve can do whatever the fuck he wants, man.
That's really weird. How do you fit up there with Travis on that fence?
Dude, you guys call Travis the fence rider, but I don't know. I think
Travis is
there
the fence
together for
rider. You're the
sure.
fence manufacturer.
I have
You actually build the fences in which pussies like Travis get to sit on.
By rights, Jeremy can't even decide whether he's here today or not.
Right.
What the fuck? I'm still struggling. I'm like, maybe I could still go.
I bet Jeremy now will never come again because he's like, I can wait. I can sit here.
Phone it in. I can work from home. This is great.
I just love that Jeremy's like, wait a minute, Corboy can call in. Wait, I can call in too.
I'm pretty sure they might answer it on call. So
how would you have felt if we wouldn't answered your call?
I would have cried. It's like if somebody doesn't text you back for like fucking 3 days. It's crazy. I don't get it. I'm just being nice.
I'm so sorry that I was on the couch laying with my 9-year-old watching Goosebumps. I apologize.
I mean, that's cool, dude. I mean, you were making Facebook posts and shit, commenting on other stuff, but that's fine. I mean, I'm not mad.
No, you're not mad. You're
what
hurt.
I called about.
You're hurt like a fucking 8th grade fucking Christmas dance date that
here
got
goes,
stood up.
Here goes gaslighting me again, that motherfucker. I just agreed with you, and now you're gonna fucking turn on me. All right. Anyway,
because you turned on me
Echo.
because you agreed with me and then dropped in the he hasn't talked to me in 3 days, and once I started cutting myself, he finally responded. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, sure. No, that's fine. I mean, attack, mental illness. That's fine. That's cool.
All right, Spinderella. You keep.
All I wanted to say. Listen. All I wanted to say was I watched all of Echo. I finished it last night. So there's a lot of Native American stuff. If you're into that stuff, it's awesome. If you're not into it, it's interesting. I don't know if Steve's into that at all, so that's up to him.
Steve doesn't believe that even existed.
So, but it is. It's totally a female.
Nothing about it in the Bible. So
female lead character the whole time. There's struggles. There's struggles with the males. She gets touched on her booty, and she gets held down all the time. But the kingpin is like a fucking dad to her, and he is fucking awesome in this show.
That's what
They
I've
show
heard.
a little bit of Daredevil. They show, I mean, Kingpin's strong in it, like the past him and the current him, and it's definitely the same dude who was in the Daredevil fucking series. So it is a continuation of that character, which is pretty badass.
Awesome.
Can we dial this whole thing back to its origin? Let's talk about Steve's origin story. Okay. Steve's origin story is Rey from Star Wars. That's where it all went wrong. Because for whatever reason, he sat back and he was like, Kathleen Kennedy, why are you allowed to molest my Star Wars universe? I was okay with the incest back in the day. I was okay with the sex slave Leia being probably forcibly into sex by a mountain of poop. I was okay with all of that. But I just can't have this woman use a lightsaber. I can't do it.
Nope. Listen to our Force Awakens review back then. I was on board. I did say that I thought it was weird that she could do everything already, and I said that if they don't explain this shit, how she
say
can
that
do that.
you're,
And they did explain it because she's like a
would you say
Palpatine, right? I mean, they did. They kind of like, and then you bitched about the explanation. Because they did explain it, and you were like, Palpatine, but then she said Skywalker. Like, you got to pick a family, man.
I'm not even going to have this argument with Pete. He's too uneducated. This is like talking to him about the Bible. He knows so little about it, and he jumps to all these conclusions that it would take me forever to educate him, and he still would fight me on it. So there's no point in it.
See, Steve wasn't offended right away, but it planted the seed. And then years and years of these movies and what, you know, everything in pop culture, it's hurt Steve a lot. So now he's going back and like retconning the past. He's like, yeah, fuck that shit. Like originally he was like, it was okay. But then the next movie comes, he's like, God damn it. Next movie comes, you know, next TV show.
Can we at least be thankful he doesn't have sons?
My sons would be badass. And if they weren't, I would disown them.
They'd be manlier than him.
Hopefully that's the goal.
Raise them right.
Especially, you know, nowadays every son is freaking less manly than their father. I would like to jack mine up. Be like, I'd be giving them steroids at 6.
Nowadays, I was always less manly than my father. Always.
I don't know.
I'm not. Yep. Nope. That's not me. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I thought Echo was great, so you should watch it because it's cool. But she's also a cool character, and there's lots of violence in that show
too. I thought she was a lame character in Hawkeye. I was like, I hope I never see her again.
Well, guess what?
Yeah. I don't know, I think she's cool. Like I'm not. Listen. If I had to choose any of the other Avengers or her, she's gone.
Yeah, of course.
She's one of the better things in this new Marvel TV show stuff. So
it is.
It might be swayed by the Kingpin though.
Oh,
so, I mean, full disclosure.
And
I hear, and I shouldn't say I hear. I should watch it, but I hear the Kingpin's a big pussy in this one. So.
Well, he loves her a
He's
lot.
all up in his
So
feelings.
it's family. It's family, and he's willing to, you know.
Kingpin's a freaking Indian?
I love you. I know.
You'll see.
But that's okay.
Native American.
No, he took care of her when she was young.
She shot him in the eye.
She did.
Yep.
She did.
But he didn't lose it. Spoiler.
That's stupid right there.
It's the Kingpin. It's the Kingpin, man.
Just shelve it. Jesse Arnold says, I enjoy Reacher, but he's OP out of the gate too. Overpowered, I'm assuming, is what he means by that.
Oh, yeah,
I will say, but you're absolutely right. But that's how he was in the books. But right out of the gate, you also have to remember this character did 20 years in the military when you first meet him. So I never looked at him as that because that's just kind of how it was. That's how it was designed, and that's how they built it. I love the fact that he's OP. And one of the things that if you haven't read the books, it's not just about his physical size and his ability to beat the shit out of people.
It's mostly about his mind.
It's mostly about his mind and the timing and how people step and what human nature is how they react. And if they're right-handed versus left-handed and their distance. And it's when you read it in the book, it's not about him just being a badass guy that can't get his ass kicked. It's about him having the education and the knowledge to understand the situation that he's in, which is very difficult to translate onto the screen. But he's supposed to be OP. That's kind of that's what Jack Reacher is. I mean, him being overpowered is the easiest part of the show to believe. You've got a guy who gets out of the military and puts his toothbrush in his pocket and then starts walking. And every single book is him walking into a new town, stumbling into some sort of corruption or bad guys, beating everybody's ass, killing who he has to, fucking the hot chick, and then getting on the bus and headed to the next town. That's what Reacher is.
Yes, he's a guy that you aspire to be, but nobody ever will be.
Right.
Good.
Right. And the actor that they have playing him, they did an amazing job. And I just the other night, Amanda and I binge watched the first, it's either 4 or 6, whatever was out up until last night, up until 2:00 in the morning. We just couldn't turn it off. It's just that good of television. But there are female characters in the show that actually make the show better.
I have no problem with female characters. Just make them a little bit.
You'd have a problem with these female characters because they kick the shit out of people.
I've been watching Reacher.
And you have no problem with them fighting.
Not so far. They haven't shown anything super.
Oh, well, you're going to be pissed. So you're going to be upset because you're going to be like, that guy's bigger. He deserves to win. When in actuality, she's a highly trained military weapon.
It's not that. I have no problems with no.
He just wants it to be realistic.
Just somewhat realistic.
I want it to be realistic. What do you mean she can use a lightsaber right out of the gate?
Yeah, not realistic.
Yeah, that's not realistic at all.
He couldn't. Luke
Skywalker couldn't.
struggled.
Everybody else needed to freaking learn, but except Rey,
because she was better. And that's the problem you have. They gave you a female hero that is better than
that's called a Mary
your
Sue.
childhood.
She didn't earn it. She didn't earn any of her fucking powers.
Neither did Superman. Superman didn't earn shit. He was born that way.
Okay.
But nobody's got a problem with Superman's powers. Well, he didn't earn that being bulletproof. It was just given to him, so that's not right.
Oh my god, you are such a cuck. These women are not gonna fuck you. You don't need to fucking come to their fucking. You don't need to white knight every goddamn fucking female.
Notice how he didn't disagree though.
Right. Well, it's not. I'm not saving any of these characters. I'm just trying to make you look as silly as you sound, and everybody else gets it, but you. You are on this lonely island, and you're like, well. Maybe somebody's going to save me. I hope it's not a woman because I'd rather die than be saved by a woman.
I just love when Steve watches Barbie. He's like offended that it had a very female slant on it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. It should have been a female slant. It was it didn't need to be anti-male, but could have been very female. Should be. Jesus. I just can't comprehend what I'm saying. It's hard because you guys are so dumb.
And there it is. So you prove him wrong, prove him wrong, prove him wrong, prove him wrong. Instead of him admitting that he's wrong, he just flails lack of understanding.
You lack of
you just don't get what I'm saying.
It's true.
You're not smart enough to understand what I mean.
Indoctrinated
by Disney, by all this.
I've been indoctrinated to be respectful to fellow humans. What an asshole.
When have I never been respectful to people?
Dusty Staniford says, put the phone on Jeremy's junk.
I call that empathy. I've had empathy since I was fucking a kid, man.
What empathy?
Courtney Bashotti says, I agree with you, Steve. Got your back. You want to talk about somebody who's been indoctrinated? Yes. Courtney, I love you and you know it. But this guy has got you fooled. And you deserve better, and even Roger says so. I'm kidding. You know I love your husband.
Steve, I definitely agree with you on a lot of these topics, but I don't understand the why it bothers you so much, I guess.
It's boring.
I agree.
Yeah, well, just don't watch it.
Where I will agree with Steven.
And he hasn't been before.
No, I agree with you when they change something that doesn't need to be changed. I agree with you. We've had that talk. If all of a sudden they just give me a female Captain America, I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me, right? But when we're talking about creating new characters and giving new characters or characters that were originally or have always been female, giving them the opportunity to be the center of attention, I don't mind that because that's what it's supposed to be. If all of a sudden I get Francine Castle, that's going to piss me off because my Punisher is Frank Castle. So I don't like them changing stuff just to I agree with you. To change something just to cater to a certain part of the population, that upsets me because I feel that's insulting to the original intellectual property and the original creation that somebody
That's
did
fair.
of that
That's
character.
totally fair.
You know, and I don't like to see that. And Iron Fist, everybody was upset he wasn't Asian. I wasn't, because Danny Rand is always white. I mean, his name's Danny Rand. Find me an Asian named Danny Rand. Danny Rand is the whitest of white names ever. I don't want to see them changing stuff just to cater. Hey, all of a sudden, you guys, this character is gay. I don't like that, not because I don't like gay people. What I don't like is somebody sat down and had the wherewithal to create something from their mind, and this was what they intended it to be. I don't like to see that creativity polluted. That's what I don't like. But if you create a female character that maybe was always on the sidelines, but now you're putting her in the forefront of something, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't like to see, 40 years ago, something was built the way that it was supposed to be. Don't change it just to change it. Get creative and create a female character, create a gay character, create whatever you want. I'm going to enjoy it. One of the best shows on television right now is Goosebumps. I don't know if you guys have been watching that, but I've been watching that with Piper Sue, and that show is amazing. They took a bunch of Goosebumps books, found a way to tie it all together into one amazing story, and we've really, really enjoyed it. And it's a group of 5 kids, right? You've got a black boy, you've got an Asian girl, you've got a Latina girl, you've got a gay white boy, and you've got what's the other character? Anyways, they gave you a variety. Well, that's, again, I like that. Showing, and each character had their own episode that was specific to them. They did a great job with that. Well, they didn't take other characters and change things. They created something new that had representation for everybody, and I think that's awesome, because everybody does deserve to see somebody that they can relate to represented on the big screen. I'll go back to Jake from State Farm. We went from a white guy to a black guy. Why did we change his name? Why do we still call him Jake?
That can still be 2 people be named Jake.
Right. But it's one of those things where I'm like, if I'm a black person, I'm like, seriously, you tried that hard, you just made him black and then called him Jake? Call him something else. Call him Carl. Call him Phil. I don't care.
Right.
There's those moments that just, they feel cheap to me. And that's what I don't want.
Yeah.
If it's creative and it's in its purest form, that's what I enjoy.
There you go.
What do you enjoy, Steve?
Huh?
He's like, I wasn't listening.
What, Jeremy? That's a great bet. You guys said I've done them 100 times.
Where are we, Steve? What do you think?
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, Derby.
Did I say Latine? I think I said Latina, didn't I?
I have no idea.
Oh. I don't know what Latine is, but yeah, if I misspoke, I apologize.
So that brings us to
Thanks, UPS guy.
thanks, UPS guy.
I got some good stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I did too, but they're not down here. I just got the box down here.
What the fuck?
Well, dude, you come on. Oh, time out. I want to hit on this real quick.
Okay.
How'd you guys feel about real quick? The Hiss tank is now in my living room. I've been given a small little table, and I've been told that I could set up a diorama there.
1-6 shooter says, wait until it's Jackie from State Farm and Steve's head explodes.
Shit's coming.
But she's not wearing khaki. She's wearing a skirt like women are supposed to, right, Steve?
If I'm being allowed, I'm having a get together next weekend, and I'm being allowed to have a little toy diorama.
You're all invited.
In our living room.
506 mirrors. Come on down.
So, what'd you guys think about Heidi's opinion of my diorama upstairs?
I don't know why she's so upset.
She was upset that it wasn't big enough.
That it wasn't good enough.
She gave you permission to put a diorama, and you put a Hiss tank with 3 fingers, and she's like, this is bullshit.
So I think that means go wild.
I gotta go crazy,
you
right?
You gotta get some shit going on. Let's hang some freaking helicopters from the ceiling.
Yeah.
But from the ceiling fan.
Oh, even better.
Just a whole plethora of sky strikers.
We could use like 3 3/4 inch vehicles, and then that'll force perspective to make it look like they're in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do some crazy shit.
What a crazy woman.
You need to wait until she's gone one day this week.
And
Take
go
a whole
nuts.
day off from work.
Go
and
nuts.
bring everything here upstairs in the living room. It's just the whole room is up there.
You wanted more?
Yeah.
She walks in and this is up there, and I'm smoking a cigar.
And immediately, all of a sudden, the event gets canceled on everybody's phone, and Trev's in the hospital with cornwood because he got stabbed.
Good possibility. So because of the Hiss tank, I did rush right out and get the Cobra Hiss Officer Range Viper and Infantry, the Fire Team 788. And I will tell you, just like the rest of the classified stuff that's coming out right now, yes.
I would love to look at them.
Yep.
They're upstairs.
They're upstairs.
Yes. But it is a really cool set. 3 dudes.
Where'd you get this?
Pulse.
You went straight to Pulse?
Yep. I think $80, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Which, a 3-pack, so you're whatever it is. A little bit over $25 each. But they are good figures, and I would have wanted them regardless. I would think that this would be one that you might be able to get a chance at like a cheaper price down the road, but then again, who knows?
who knows?
Yep. I don't know how many they made. Or
Dusty
anything like
Stanford says do an entire battle scene on the floor and just leave a path wide enough to get from room to room.
That's what we're gonna have to do, apparently. Yep.
Yeah, I got to get this.
It's a good set.
You actually just got the garage cleaned out so she can park the car in there. You should set it up where she parks. So she pulls up, opens the garage door,
And
it's
there's
all
a dial.
dial.
Yeah.
She'd back over you.
Can we operate the toy cam?
Not really. Yeah, we can. I can make it work. I can figure it out here. You want to put something there, do you?
Well, when it's time, yeah. Are you done?
That's it for me. I did get I had a pretty good score at the swap last night, but all that stuff is just for flipping. So
And all the people are pissed because you only paid them $30 for their $100 figure.
pretty much, yeah. Steve was one of them. Got him good.
We never did get into that whole. I don't feel like we really finished our toy.
We didn't. We got a little sidetracked.
Oh, look at Curtis being wrong. I love that about him.
Oh, I bet.
What is that?
This is a Retaro, I believe. This is a Thundercat figure, complete. I picked up because a vintage Thundercat figure because
No.
Oh, what?
he can't
I'll
do
do
it.
it.
Yeah, you might be able to figure it out, but it's pointing at the ceiling.
What's pointed at the ceiling?
Turn it.
Okay.
Oh,
It runs itself. Like it's from when I dropped it on the ground.
oh man. So
No one wants to see Retaro anyway.
yeah, but I mean, I got other stuff too.
Okay.
I got Hachi Man.
Hachi Man?
Yeah, Hachi Man.
All right.
Should have looked at this thing before I bought it. It did come from.
Look at the screen.
Well, it's pointed. Can't you just twist it?
Twist it. Bop it. Pull it. Here, hold on. Let me do this, Steve, so you can actually see. Here you go. And then point it up.
I don't think it's a manual move it around kind of thing.
Well, it should be.
This is professional.
There. Kind of works. I don't know if you can get it focused, but or if it's not focused. So no, Hachiman, this guy showed up a lot in the cartoon. Pretty cool samurai guy. He's pretty easily manipulated. He's a good guy, but I remember Mumra convincing him that ooh, you look at that. He's got like a side. I never had this figure as a kid.
I had a friend who did.
Oy, oy, oy. That's cool. He's kind of sticky. You know, plastic gets.
Oh,
old.
okay.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
You got it from Justin, so I just
I never had it when I was a kid.
I did get him from Justin. I go up to Justin. This is another Justin. Hey Justin, I look these up. I look at the prices on them. I go up to him because I think it's best to not ask Justin what he wants for something. It's best to go up there and say, "I'll give you this much for these." So I walked up to him like, "Hey, I'll give you $80 for these." All 3 of these. They're all complete. They're all in everything. And the little guy goes, I have to look them up. And I'm like, I already looked them up. It's a fair price. He's like, I have to look. He says, I can't do that. I can't do that. What if one of them is worth like $500? I go, nothing in there is worth $500. Justin doesn't trust me. He doesn't trust me.
No.
So I'm like, he's like, all right. He says, just give me some time to look him up. He never does. He never looks him up. I get home. I leave. I get a text from him on my way home. Hey, PayPal me $80 for those figures, and I'll send them home from Travis with Travis. I'm like, you son of a bitch! I almost told him, no. You didn't.
65.
You didn't have time for me when I wanted to deal with you. You didn't have time. You said you couldn't. You didn't look them up right then. Blah blah blah. But here we are. Whoa! And then I got Vulture Man.
Did you PayPal him?
Yes.
It would have been so much better if you just didn't. I mean, he gave me the toys to bring to you, so.
I know why.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you didn't watch your conversation about it, screenshot it, and post it all over Facebook.
Might be a good reason for that. But yeah, now we get to the good stuff because these things are fun. But
Yo, Vesapolo. Sticky does not equal $500 worth of value in this hobby.
coming up here with a classified figure, General Hawk here. Great figure. I'm very impressed with this figure. He looks amazing. His coat and the gold trim and the I don't know. He just looks badass.
What are those figures from?
Thundercats.
Thundercats, yes. So I'm pretty pumped about this. I don't know. I just think he's cool.
Hawk.
Yeah, I never was a huge Hawk fan.
How come?
I don't know. I just was.
You like the Duke, huh?
It wasn't that I necessarily liked Duke. I don't know why. When I was a kid, he was never a figure I would.
Oh, he was not a hot toy. No, that was not a. I mean, Hawk wearing his leather jacket and.
Yeah, kind of like looking like Patton.
Yeah.
Like General Patton was kind of the thing there, I think. And no, I mean, he is
Pretty good figure, though. Not enough to make me buy him.
well, I know he's a good guy, and you have a problem with good guys.
I do have a problem with good guys. It's kind of boring.
Let's see.
Oh, wow.
So this is the Hiss Tanks Cobra Commander that was included with every Hiss tank. I did buy an extra one from Travi because I just could not open mine. The packaging was so wonderfully beautiful, and
That carded version, that's just cool.
the carded version was just amazing.
I totally understand that.
But this is, it's a great figure, faithful to whatever. It's got the Mickey Mouse symbol on it, which is kind of cool. I know that they'll probably release a regular version,
Of course.
without the Mickey Mouse and maybe without some of the hands or something, because he does come with different hands and different things here that I really, I'm a fan of hands, so you can do so much with that.
It keeps focusing on you, Steve, because you keep moving.
Trying. So next out of the box is something I found at Target.
Maverick is so much like Rodriguez. Hawk would make a good fodder body for a Rocketeer custom. Idiot.
We did miss a super chat.
We did.
We did. Curtis Ackerman said, I'd like a smash or pass on my birthday pick to Travis.
I don't have to see the pic. I'd smash you all day, Curtis.
You can't put it up on the screen though.
We cannot put it on the screen, but I can show. I can show you guys for sure. Trying to think. Oh yeah, I should probably guess go back to
Well,
my
Steve and I passed because you didn't send it to us. So fuck you.
Steven, here's the picture.
Yeah, that is
How did that not get flagged on Facebook? I thought it was in a meme.
Yes, it has been memed.
it's
I would not
disturbing.
put that on YouTube.
Wow, it's not coming anyway.
Yeah.
Did you say it's disturbing?
Mm-hmm. It is disturbing because those are pretty good looking nipples. Right?
Like if you just saw them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are those actually his?
Yeah.
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 No, not really.
That's
bullshit. That's Photoshop.
that's Curtis's rack.
No fucking way. That's Photoshop.
That's Curtis's rack.
That's Curtis's rack.
What do you think of old Python Patrol Copperhead, Travis?
You know, I'm not a huge Copperhead fan for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
He looks like he'd be something right up your friggin' alley.
I don't know why, but it never really did it for me. This is a cool figure though. Did the other version of Copperhead come with the same weapons?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I mean, I'm gonna try to. I'll probably stick with Tiger Force and Python Patrol stuff, but I'm not doing any Slaughters, Marauders, or anything else they come out with.
What? You would not do Slaughters, Marauders, but you're doing Python Patrol and
Tiger Force.
are you serious?
Yeah.
You wouldn't buy Mercer and
No, those are Slaughter. Those are his Renegades.
oh,
Marauders are the blue and green and
yes,
brown.
yeah, I'd pass on them too. Hell yeah, but I would definitely get the Resonegades.
If those come out, I'll get those.
Hell yes, hell yes. Those are badass dudes.
Tiger Force
Pete,
is-
come over here. You need to be on mic.
Tiger Force is silly. I love it. This is one of my favorite figures of the year so far. I know we're early.
I love how you got it on a Valaverse stand
Well,
because they're giving them to you.
Hasbro needs to do it. Mutton Junkyard, he comes with a ton of accessories. He's a deluxe figure, $44. And he comes with hands and everything else.
But it's really like two figures.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
In my
Plus,
opinion,
plus
you know,
that dog is legit.
that dog is legit.
It is like two figures. And the thing is I wish Cody would have been here because I would have had pictures to show you guys so you could really see what you can do with that dog.
Oh shit!
maybe
No,
you should
want to
just
see
post a,
pictures of what you can do with that dog.
maybe you could just post a
You can get him to lay down.
okay, yeah.
You can get him. I got him here, and with the extra hands, you can have it looking like he's saying back boy or down boy. Or
Yeah.
Look at these fucking pictures, man. It's like that's Courtney's centerpiece on the dining room table. Awesome poses of, and it's like, come on, man, put a little forethought into your background.
Yep.
Look at this. He's like, I mean, come on, back general. Mutt don't like something, or junkyard don't like. I mean,
God, did they make him? Could they have made him any hairier? Look at his forearm when he comes around to you.
yeah,
That's weird.
it's like a dog. His name's Mutt.
I know, but does he shave the sides of his?
Yeah, they should have done that circumferential.
And I gotta say, the paint job on his face, the 5 o'clock shadow and everything that they've got on there, it's
Yeah.
really up in the game as far as paint apps are concerning, or for paint apps, considering that it is just a retail figure. Like, I don't feel like I have to touch that up or do
No, it looks-
anything with it.
It does look pretty great.
So again, G.I. Joe killing it. I am G.I. Joe crazy at this point. If there's no Mythic Legions to be had, I'm thinking about G.I. Joe right now
Yeah.
and wanting more.
What does that stand from specifically? Is it from one of those like Bumblebee looking like figures?
No, that's actually from you could buy a pack of stands. They're a bunch of different colors
Oh,
from Valaverse.
okay.
It's from
I just wonder, like, I'm like, why would you make it that obnoxious yellow.
Yeah.
That doesn't blend into shit.
I like that back little groove too, so you could put a piece of cardboard like their file card in there or something.
That's a nice little stand.
That is a cool little stand.
Oh, the stand's a great idea. The
yellow.
color is
Yeah.
suspect.
Yeah.
So I got to talk to you about this too. Took all my Valivers down.
Are we done with the toy camera?
Yes.
Okay.
I got it.
I took all of my Valivers and
The
I
gray boxes along, just go to the one I would be on the far left. That's just a single. Go up, no, up, right. Don't go down. Gray boxes, Trav.
Yep.
Up, keep going to the left. A single person. There you go. Bingo.
took all of my Valivers down. So the top shelf is cleared, which used to be, I had 3 shelves ish of G.I. Joe, and the top one was all Valivers. They're all packed up. Don't know what I'm going to do with them. Probably try to sell them at some point. I think that for Valivers, for me, the only thing I'll probably be buying in the future is maybe weapons packs, because I do enjoy his weapons.
Wow.
And his firing features and just the cool stuff that his weapons
Yeah.
to use with my GI Joes when I need to.
But it is Joe's for you.
Yeah, and it's nothing against those figures. Those figures are good quality. They're well done. I really am a fan of the figures, but
Nostalgia story.
I hate to say it is, they've just been a lot of the same over and over and over. And
yeah,
I guess G.I. Joe is just silly enough
that it's separate,
that it makes it pop. Like all the different characters are just so different from each other.
Yeah. It's not uniform.
Right. Yeah. The bad guys are not, they're the bad G.I. Joe guys are a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, these classifieds look really good with Rotaro.
There's a little bit of there, it's, I don't know. I think Rotaro's cool.
You would. You would.
I think he's cool. I mean, look at him.
All right, Peter, you up, buddy? You got anything?
Yeah, I brought some dice.
Okay.
Because nobody likes it, and I like to just rub it in everybody's face. So
I think there's people that like it.
I meant Steve.
Oh. I mean, nobody here, but I mean, people.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
here.
people.
Rotaro's way cooler than dice.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna say with Pete on the dice. I'll take the dice over Rotaro.
Come on.
No.
Look at that guy.
Hell no. Even when I was a child, I would not have liked that toy.
Why? It's Rotaro.
So I got a little accessory box to go with one of the Fey books for Dungeons and Dragons, and this is like maps and creatures, and then a special set of dice. Witchlight. Basically, it's a carnival setting, which is kind of a cool story, but it's something you can kind of drop in and do like during your campaign and what have you. So I got that because I'm going to run that for the kids. So I got these. I got a 6-pack of these dice because just for decoration for my desk. They're full of skulls.
Oh, that's cool.
I love skulls.
Mm-hmm.
So I got some. This is from my brother-in-law.
That's fun.
So these are blood splatter skull dice. Got skulls inside of them. And then Epic Tabletop Games and Hobbies in Grand Haven. I went down. I got a gift card for Christmas, and I picked out this set of handmade acrylic sharp edge D6s. Tell me those aren't badass. Look at that thing. So super cool. Yeah, made by a person who actually makes dice and then sells them like consignment style.
Oh, cool.
In the toy store. So I love how the pips are matte black. You don't see that very often. So I try to put them on the camera, but I'm not going to fuss with that. So pips.
Dot.
That's the dots on the die. Yeah. So
let's not call them dots. Let's call them pips.
Oh, they're that's because they are pips. That's why you call them that. So, don't call them a dog. Call it a
pip.
poop.
I know is the one that
called it a poop.
hung out with Mrs. Havishlam.
So yeah, man, just some fun, some clickety clack math rocks.
This box is beautiful.
Isn't it awesome?
Yeah.
Like, look at this one. The fucking
Oh, yeah. No, that's
custom,
cool.
wax emblem on there.
Heck yeah.
Um,
Little extra.
yeah,
Little Super 7 it up.
yeah. You know.
Pretty packaging. This is cool.
So yeah. So like I said, those don't roll. Those are just decoration for my D&D desk, my computer desk. So
It's fun, though.
yeah.
It kind of rolls.
I mean, they do roll, but I wouldn't roll them like in game. They're terribly unbalanced. They're also much bigger than I thought they were.
You thought it was going to be like a little one, or
I knew they were going to be bigger than regular
Yeah,
dice,
yeah.
but I didn't realize they were going to be,
going to be a
that
huge
big,
one?
You know.
That'll look good on a desk, though.
Yep.
All right.
There we go.
Is that
Yep.
it?
Is that a show?
I think it can be.
Is it?
Unless you guys got anything.
What are you guys
important.
going to do today?
Me, I'm gonna go home, snow blow my driveway,
Yeah.
and then probably curl up. Maybe sit in the hot tub. It's a good time for that.
It was a good tubbing day.
And wait for tomorrow.
Yeah. Is Claire at school tomorrow?
No, I don't think they do. I have to work though.
Yes. So do I. We don't observe Martin Luther King Day. Well, neither does the school. The school just calls it a professional development day.
Legends Collector said, Rotaro, I thought you were saying stupid now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well played.
All right.
Pete,
Well,
what are you doing today? What are you going to do?
We got 2 more episodes of Goosebumps
Nice.
to watch. Gonna finish that off with Susu. So, yep. It's gonna be just hopefully chillaxing and staying out of the cold because motherfucker, it was cold.
And it's supposed to
there.
just be colder.
Yeah. So
Bah.
it's that time of year.
it is that time of year.
Woo!
All right. Well, we're wrapping up episode 306, the My Wife's Gonna Kill Me podcast. Great show. Jeremy, thank you for popping in, for being as uncommitted as you could be and be committed still. I don't know if you necessarily deserve to have those opinions because you couldn't make it here, but we forgive you and love you. So, Corn Boy, of course, thanks for tuning in and thanks for avoiding me on the phone. Makes me super happy. Make sure you tell everybody about it in Matt Rodriguez's private creative snack group that I'm not in. And yeah, for Jeremy, absent DeWitt, Cody, I partied too hard last night. Ottinger, Travis Bowles, Steve Bishotti, I am Pete McCarthy. And until next time, we'll see you motherfuckers in the toy aisle. Careful. Don't say anything yet. Joe Bassapolo. That's it. I woke up before noon for this. That makes me. Oh,